Very often my software here takes a little bit of my time to get live, so I may still not be live. Okay, I see us live. Hi everybody and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope you're having a fantastic, wonderful, beautiful day or evening or night or wherever you are situated, wherever you people are. Hope you're all doing very well. Welcome once again to the Apostate Prophet channel. I'm here today with David Wood. It's been quite a while. We haven't done anything in a long time.
Yeah, it's been way too long. We should be going live like at least once a week.
We should. That was our commitment. We wanted to go live like every week or so, and then we just didn't do that. It's because we are not the greatest planners. I'm not a great planner. David Wood is not a great planner.
No. I am the best of planners. I just have so many other plans and my constant, endless line of plotting that some plans are like down the list in terms of my planning. That's the main reason I got a problem with Allah. He runs around bragging about being the best of plotters, best of planners. I'm the best of plotters and the best of planners. Yeah, and Allah is trying to steal my thunder. That's why we got beef. All right, go ahead.
No, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. What have you been doing? We've been wanting to talk to each other for quite a while. We wanted to go live for quite a while. What is this? I think there is some freezing going on. I hope everything is okay. Can please everybody tell me what in the world? Oh my God.
Yeah. So the question would be whether that's whether they still hear you clearly or you're actually freezing.
My CPU usage is about at 99%. That's fantastic, of course. I will try to close my... Oh, God. Hi, everybody. Can everybody still hear me? Everything fine? Nadaver said, hey, it's good now. I hope it's good. I still see that there's some lag going on. Man. So much mess today. So, if everything looks good, fantastic. I was just very busy. I was actually wanting to prepare a topic on Muhammad's wickedness. That's what the title of this chat is about. And I wanted to sit down and just so that everybody goes through the whole summary of Muhammad's wickedness again together here. I wanted to get all the relevant sources that I can get about Muhammad's wickedness. But then something happened. And I have to talk about this. I announced right here earlier today that Mohammed Hijab agreed to have a debate with me. Because 2 days ago, I challenged him to a debate. I said, hey, I hereby challenge Mohammed Hijab again to a debate. And here are the conditions. Condition number 1 is that the topic is Islam the truth? Condition number 2 is that it's going to be moderated. It's going to be on a third-party platform. And so forth. He then insisted that he should also have the right to personally insult me, to personally attack me. He said, I just demand complete freedom of speech. I cannot hold back. I need to personally insult you because I hate you. And I said, fine, whatever. I know that you hate me.
Hold on right there, because that's interesting. Because when I debated him, it was actually made a condition of the debate from the Muslim side, from the Muslims who are arranging the debate. The Muslims are arranging the debate. And it was required that we all agree, no personal attacks, no insults, no going off topic.
Wow.
Keep it friendly the entire time. I agreed and stuck to it. Hijab agreed and violated everything, every single thing we agreed to. So that's just kind of strange. I don't know why he would say, no, I should be able to insult you. I don't know why he wouldn't say... I don't know why he wouldn't just say, yes, we agree that we're not going to insult each other, and then just do it. That's what he's done in the past. Now, maybe he's worried that because it's not Muslims who are moderating, that if it's a third party, that he'll actually be stopped on it. And so maybe it's that. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that he's trying to come up with terms that he's actually going to stick to. But you said you'd be fine with insulting. That's funny. That's like me, right? I'm fine with people insult. I know I make fun of your prophet all day long. I know that. I know why you want to insult me. I get it. But But what I do have a problem with is demanding that I agree that we're going to follow these rules, and then people don't follow the rules at all. That I got a problem with, because I'm always, if you're talking about insulting, well, guess what? I insult your prophet. So, I can't have very hard rules against not insulting. Breaking an agreement, I would never do that. You could saw my head off. I would not break an agreement like that. But so anyway, go ahead. I just wanted to jump in there because
that's very good. That's very, very, very relevant, because the thing is, when I challenged him first, I had a conversation with him like a month ago or so, a month ago and a half. And I said to him, hey, if you want to debate these topics with me, because he was texting me on Twitter for some strange reasons. I don't know. He was apparently in some a rare moment of kindness. And I said, hey, if you want to debate these issues with me, I will be happy to have a debate. The only issue is that I don't want any personal insults, no personal attacks, no getting into each other's business. We're just going to debate, stay on topic, and that's it. He then said to me, because I hate you, I could even put this on the screen. I should actually put this on the screen because it's so hilarious. He said, because I hate you, I will not be able to to hold back and not insult you. Wait here, let me put this right on the screen. Actually, let's see this for everybody to see right here. That's how confident and how professional the Muslim apologist is. Look at this. He said, "I must be a man of my word. Because I hate you, I would not be able."
Hold on. A man of his word. David, we must all agree that there is to be no insulting during this debate. Wow. Go.
I must be a man of my word. Because I hate you, I would not be able to avoid personally attack you if we speak. If you allow me to say whatever I want, I can talk to you or have a debate, but I will not be kind. On Twitter, I can give basic dawah to you as I am now. So he's saying that he hates me, which I do understand, because he's supposed to hate me. That is part of his ideology. He's supposed to hate for Allah and love for Allah. And I am obviously a very problematic critic of Islam. I am an ex-Muslim. I criticize and insult his holy prophet, which he loves more than his life. So he's supposed to hate me, and he basically admits that here. And so I go ahead and say, I thought so. Attacking me is part of your philosophy. That's a big compromise for me. For honesty, I would ask you to apologize for accusing me of committing and or endorsing incest, which he clearly did, completely baselessly, and insulting my mother and sister, which he also explicitly did, and then cited Islamic scholars to explain how he is allowed to use that according to his Islamic teachings. I said, but that's not a requirement. We can debate live online with moderator. So this is what happened. That's what I said. I don't want him to personally insult me. I don't want us to turn this into a whole, business where we insult each other, where we attack each other, where we become very filthy and all that. But since he insisted on that, and since I really wanted this debate to take place, I said, come on, fine, okay, you're allowed to insult me. What happened afterwards is that a few days ago, I sent him this challenge again, because after this conversation, he suddenly disappeared. And went away. This conversation never happened. A few days ago, I said, hey, here's my final call. I challenge Mohammed Hijab to a debate. It will be online, it will be live, it will be moderated, timed, and so on. He then replied and said something like, you are not trained and not qualified to have a debate with me, which is why I refused to have a debate. So he explicitly rejected to have a debate. He then said, if you want to have a Zoom conversation with me, I can do that. And we all know how that goes. He sends a Zoom link to people, makes a giant show, doesn't let the person speak, and so on. I said, no, you can have a Zoom conversation with your small-minded followers. I'm going to have a debate with you if you want to have a debate. And I called him a coward. I mocked him for a day or so, since he's the guy who usually insults and harasses people. He then finally couldn't deal with all the mockery, and he then said, okay, I will agree to have a debate. What he did then is to play with the conditions that I offered. Eventually he agreed that we can have a debate on a third platform, on a third-party platform, moderated by somebody else. And I wanted to suggest this guy, where you had your debate with Matt Dillahanty, Modern Day Debate. I thought, hey, that's a pretty good place, very neutral, very good moderator. Let's go and have our debate there. He tried to chicken out there for quite a while. Eventually, he accepted that too. Everything done, I announced today that Mohammed Hijab has finally agreed to have a debate with me on the topic of is Islam the truth. That I'm excited that we will announce the details very soon. And I said this will take place online. Everybody will be able to view it. And suddenly he comes back tonight and says, he says something like, the apostate has just squeezed in another condition that this should be online. I don't agree to an online debate. I wanted to have an in-person debate, which is why this debate will not take place. That's very funny, because previously he actually explicitly agreed that we would have this debate online. In fact, let me bring this up.
Whoa. Based on what you're saying now, I can't believe, because as we all know, Hijab is a man of his word.
Of course he is, yeah.
He said it. He said so.
Look at this.
No compulsive liar, no deceiver would ever say that he's a man of his word. Wow.
Look at this. Let me go through this. I want to show the dishonesty and the moral wickedness of two Muhammads here. One is the coward Muhammad from the 21st century that we are talking about today, and one is the other dirty Muhammad from the 7th century. I want to talk about both of them today. Let's first talk about the coward. I want to show some of the screenshots here. Look at this. These are in no particular order. I want to go through these. Look. He said here just today, Apis, he's trying to insult me with my apostate prophet name, has not conditioned an online platform and is desperately trying to wriggle out of seeing me in person out of sheer fear. Why would I be afraid to face him? Like, what is there? Is there something? Is there something threatening about him? Is that what he's trying to imply? Is he a threat to people? This field is not for you. If you want to be a polemicist, you must be brave. I would retire if I were you. So he's saying, I never told him that this would be online. Funnily enough, as you can see here very clearly, I said we can debate live online with moderator. Fine, I will give him the benefit of the doubt, I thought, and assume that he may not have seen this. But then, look at this. He made this poll yesterday. It said, is it reasonable for both me and Apostate Prophet to upload the online debate on our respective channels? So he clearly acknowledges that this will be an online debate.
I'm not understanding this because, again, Hijab is a man of his word.
Look, then this happened. Look, he made this tweet. I said, this is getting exhausting. You're avoiding the confrontation and acting like it was my fault, when 2 days ago you didn't even want to debate. Online was specified here and in my video challenge to you. Oh, I also made a video challenge in which I also clearly specified that this will be online. Nothing to the contrary was specified ever. Say yes and let's start. And then this follower of mine who was kind enough came here and said he knew you challenged him for an online debate. He even acknowledged that in his poll question posted yesterday. and look what Mohammed Hijab says next. There is a difference between an expectation and a condition. You didn't condition me to an online debate, and it was not a non-negotiable for you. So why would you let this debate not take place because you fear meeting me in person? So I want everyone to understand what's going on here. He's referring to several conditions that I made a few days ago. Conditions like this is a topic, it will be moderated, it will be timed, and so on. Like, just several conditions for when the debate takes place. He agreed to those, and he clearly planned that the online criteria was not part of the conditions. He let all of this go through. He never said anything about anything in objection to the fact that this would be an online debate. And at the last moment, when I started announcing to everybody that we are now going to have a debate, he suddenly said, well, I want a face-to-face instead, not an online debate. You have never made the online condition, which means you are afraid of me. You should just stop doing this. You're obviously not brave enough for this issue. What happened afterwards is you should all go to Mohammed Hijab's Twitter page. He started insulting me, threatening me. He said, ha, so you acknowledged that this was explicitly mentioned and acknowledged by you, but you deliberately agreed to the listed conditions because they didn't contain this obvious detail, just so you could chicken out, you coward. Of course, he didn't take this very well. Look what he posted next. Apus, I want to give you sincere advice. I think you should commit suicide. Not because you're a talentless coward or because you're a waste of space. I think the world is offering you more pain than pleasure. It is not morally objectionable for you, so why not?
I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, since his in Islam, Muhammad is the pattern of conduct for the world, and when anything would go wrong for Muhammad or anything would bother Muhammad in any way, he would rush up to a mountain to hurl himself off. And the angel Gabriel had to constantly rush to save Muhammad from jumping off a mountain and jumping off of cliffs. I guess that's now ingrained into Mohammed Hijab's mind that, hey, if you think something's not going well for someone, then tell him to go kill himself, like our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yeah. It is also very funny. So here is Mohammed Hijab clearly telling me that I should commit suicide on a public platform. Of course, he couldn't take the heat of what he has done here, but he is really revealing what Mohammed Hijab is about.
Mm-hmm.
After 5 minutes or so, he deleted this tweet, which was of course too late because everybody screenshot it and started retweeting it.
It's like him trying to delete the video with Yasser Qadi. Too late.
Too late. Where's the delete button? He first tried to cut it. He tried to cut it out, right? And then they tried to delete it, but it's all over the place.
Yeah.
They deleted that both, right? Yasser Qadi deleted it.
And both did from their channels. I mean, I wasn't paying attention to the video on Hijab's channel, but I saw. I think it was Jay Smith said that in a video that Mohammed Hijab had scrubbed it from his. But I mean, think about it. He scrubbed the entire interview. He had already cut out the part, the holes in the narrative part. Hey, we've got this cute story that we tell amongst ourselves, but it actually doesn't work if you talk to actual scholars. It only works when we're talking to people who have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah. And but I will say, Hijab there saying, I'm a man of my word. It reminds me of Yasser Qadi in that interview when Yasser Qadi was saying, I'm only going to speak the truth. I can't say other things because I'm only going to speak the truth. And I'm thinking, I have seen you lie over and over and over again. The video that I just posted, it's about a short video of his, it's only a few minutes long. And I realized earlier today that this video would have to be, my response video would have to be like 40 minutes long if I went through just the lies in this short little video clip, right? And it's stuff he knows, right? If a Muslim wants to say, I believe that the Quran has been preserved reliably, well, that could be true. He could actually believe what he's saying. When Yasser Qadi said in 2012, this is a 2012 video, when Yasser Qadi said that there is not a single letter difference in any two Quran manuscripts anywhere since the time of Uthman, he knows that's a lie, right? You had who did you have on your channel who actually went through differences between the Hafs and Warsh?
Abdullah Gandal, he was here.
Yeah. So he's actually showing those are clearly differences. Now, if you want to, the point here is, if you want to say, I believe that these differences can be reconciled with the Qiyat and stuff like that, and you want to say it can be reconciled, that's one thing. To say that they aren't there, to say that there is not one single letter of difference anywhere since the time of Uthman, he knows that's a flat out lie. Mm-hmm. Then he goes on, he also says that when Uthman decided to burn all the Quran manuscripts and to issue his standard one, he says everyone agreed, there was no objection. That's another lie. Abdullah ibn Masud was freaking out, telling people to hide their Qurans to keep this guy. And he specifically commanded his followers, do not copy Zayd's Mus'haf. Don't copy it, right? And here's Yasser Qadi saying, and everyone agreed that this is a great idea. He specifically said everyone calls it a great idea. Yeah. And you've got Muhammad's top reciter of the Quran saying this is the worst idea in the history of Islam. Do not do this. And so you had that, and then, but it's just one thing after another. And then it was an issue of, he was saying that the reason all these other manuscripts had to be burned was because they were 7th, 8th, 9th generation copies And that's why they had to be burned. And that's absolute nonsense, right? Abdullah ibn Masud's Quran was his first generation copy, right? He puts that together. Ubay ibn Ka'b, his Quran was a first generation copy. These guys are all ordered to hand over their Qurans to burn them all. And so it's just he knows all of this, right? If a young 18-year-old, 16-year-old, something like that Muslim told me this, I would not think he's lying. I would just think he didn't know what he's talking about. When Yasser Qadi, who's been through the sources like almost no one else in the world, I mean, this guy knows the Muslim sources. When Yasser Qadi, who knows the Muslim sources and was educated at Yale, starts saying these things, it's clear he's just a complete, utter, total liar. So then when he's being interviewed and he says, but I only speak the truth. It's like, what are you talking about, right? You know you're a liar. You know you're a liar. And then he blurts it all out. And then, of course, he's being interviewed by Muhammad, I'm a man of my word, Hijab, who does nothing but lie, right? And so it's just amazing this sort of fantasy world that these guys live in. And what's even more amazing is it's sort of built into their community. I'm not going to say all Muslims, because there are Muslims out there who have tons of integrity. I'm talking about the people who are drawn into that crowd, like Mohammed Hijab's actual fans. Mm-hmm. They do not care, right? Mohammed Hijab, if they find out that Mohammed Hijab agreed to a bunch of terms for our debate, and then he violated all of them, they do not care. You deserve it.
I know.
You deserve it. You mock our prophet, therefore he's under no obligation to keep any agreement with you. If Mohammed Hijab made you 50 promises and swore by the great God Allah on every one of them, and then broke every one of them, and you told his followers, they would not care in the slightest. It's built into the ideology that deception, when used towards people like us, deception is a virtue. We look at deception as a bad thing. There are certain situations where I would say, like if during World War II, if you're hiding Jews in your attic to keep them safe from Nazis and stuff like that, well, that's deception. I would say that's you're fine with that sort of thing. But with them, it's like deceive as much as possible in any way possible, and that's a good thing. And Muhammad said war is deceit, and so they take deception, deceiving the enemies of Allah as a virtue. The more you can deceive, the better it is. And so it's just amazing that we know that's the case. Their followers can see it. Everyone sees it. It's obvious. And yet these guys will run around bragging, we're men of integrity. We only speak the truth. We're men of our word. And they're the biggest liars on the planet. This is what a religion, man. What a religion.
Well, you have to think about it. In their religion, in Islam, it is clearly permitted to, if you are at war, you are supposed to, number one, hate the disbeliever. You're supposed to hate what Allah hates. You're supposed to hate those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger. And if we criticize Islam, and if we, use the proof and the criticism and the language that we're using, which is quite appropriate for Islam, then we are under their conditions, we are waging war against Allah. So it is their obligation now, as a response, not only to hate us, but also to wage war against us. Mohammed Hijab and people like him, Muslim apologists, and people who follow that crowd, now consider themselves at war with us. Of course, they are not able to directly, physically wage war against us because the conditions are not there, because the Islamic caliphates have been defeated. There is no more Islamic conquests going on against the infidels in the world. They don't have the power anymore. They don't have the means. They live in the UK or in the US while glorifying Sharia. What they do now, therefore, is to wage this intellectual war against us. So we are their opponents. We are their enemies in this war between Islam and disbelief. Because to them, this is how the world looks. Here is Islam and here is the disbeliever. All disbelievers are one. We are all one against Islam. That is what they learn. And then they wonder why all these people unite against them. It is because that's what you learn and that's how you treat others. So they consider themselves at war with us, with humanity, with the disbelievers. And at war, they are also allowed explicitly by their scripture and by their prophet to use deceit, to use every filthy, disgusting tactic to win, to defeat us, to smash us, to crush us, or whatever you want to call it, to finish us. And that's exactly what they're doing. When Mohammed Hijab comes out here and lies to us and, deceitfully lies to everybody, including to his own followers, he's just doing that. He's just being deceitful in war. That is what is happening here.
Yeah, I have no doubt that basically when he went ahead and agreed to a debate, and then realized that, hey, this third party is actually going to be neutral. No, we need to have it in person. We need to do that. I have no doubt that he's thinking, okay, I'm going to get this to where it's my friends as Muslim moderators somewhere where we're meeting, and then I can break every agreement that we've actually made for the debate.
Of course,
and it'll be fine. Yeah.
He doesn't want to be limited. He doesn't want to be behind a system where if he breaks the rule, he will be muted or stopped. He doesn't want that to happen, which is why he wants to have this in person. He wants to be right there and wants to violate every rule that we have agreed on. That is what he wants. I see no other explanation to this. My condition was very clear. I want a debate. I want an online debate. We will do this live. Everyone knows this. So there is only deception, only dishonesty, only filth. And afterwards, after everything has been agreed and the agreement has been announced, to then say, I want it face to face. We never agreed to have an online debate. It is disgusting. It is simply filthy. We both know how Mohammed Hijab is a giant liar. I think he's even here in the chat right now trying to attract attention. We all know that he's a coward. We all know that he has lied to many of us. We know that he lies to his own audience. He previously insulted me and my whole family. He lied about them. He said that they were engaging in incestuous activities. That's what he said. And by the way, my mother is a Muslim, and my sister should also be, as far as he knows, So that's the kind of person that he is. He takes us out of context. He lies about us. He slanders us. He does all of these things, and then he seriously comes out here and says, "I'm a man of my word."
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm doing this final announcement. I have challenged Mohammed Hijab to a debate very clearly. It was very clear from the very beginning what I want to challenge him on. I have specified the topic, which is Islam the truth? And Mohammed Hijab knows well enough never to discuss Islam itself, but always, go against other ideologies because he cannot defend Islam, because his faith is just as fragile. His own belief, his personality, his confidence is just as fragile as Islam is. I challenged him to this, and he did everything he could in his hand to evade this. His followers mindlessly follow him anyway, so there is not really much he can risk. This is what happened. I challenged him on day one. He rejected. He said, "You are not qualified, you are not trained." His followers said, "Yes, you are not qualified, you are not trained. Mohammed Hijab doesn't have to debate you." I pushed a little bit. He said, "Okay, I will debate you." And then his followers were like, "Yes, he will debate you. You are scared, not him." Then we are fighting about conditions, and then they're like, "You're not accepting his conditions. You're a coward, not him." And in the end, I say, "Okay, this is going to be an online event. Let's go ahead." He says, "Hey, we never agreed to have it online." And then they're like, "Yes, you never agreed to have it online." So his followers are minions. They will do whatever he says. They will say whatever he says. They will
agree
everything.
Completely. Yeah. No, it's cool. And by the way, I actually love that. I love it, and it's tough to explain why, but AP, there's a part of me that hopes you debate Mohammed Hijab and that he crushes you.
I want it. I want to be destroyed. Why?
Huh?
Why? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, it's weird because obviously I hope the main part of me hopes that you crush. You crush Mohammed Hijab and show that Islam is false and so on. But there's another part of me. Let me take you way back. I'm going to take it. Almost everyone who knows me says I constantly think like a military general. I don't do that on purpose. That's just how I think. But this is going way back to 2005, 2006, back in those days. When I started looking for Christian Muslim debates because I would watch them with people, and going back to like 2002, 2003, 2004, I'd watch them with Nabil, and so I was looking around for debates, and I noticed almost all the debates were on Christian topics, and almost all the debates were with these very gentlemanly Muslim debaters like Jamal Badawi and Shabir Ali and so on. And I was always thinking, when I read the Muslim sources, these guys don't seem like real representatives. I mean, Islam is much more thuggish in nature, right? It's much more chest thumping, right? I mean, we read in the Muslim sources where you remember you had those two brothers, and one of them starts going out and killing, goes on a killing spree, and his brother's like, whoa, anything that can make you do that must be the true religion. So his brother converts to Islam because this guy's going on a killing spree. Yeah. That's the mentality, right? Whatever makes you most violent and aggressive must be the truth because you're so passionate about this. And Nabil explained that to me because he partly had that kind of thinking that if something is making you passionate enough to go out and, like that, then it must be something true. And he said that's the Islamic mindset. And so it's basically, I'm looking at, these nice, calm debaters, Shabir Ali, and they're quoting sources. And I'm just thinking that is one, that's not that's not an accurate representative of the real spirit of Islam, which is aggressive, deceptive. Why are you guys putting Shabir Ali out there and so on? And then the other thing was, again, that almost all of the topics were on Christian topics. And so I thought to myself, those are the things that have to change. One, you need to get Islamic topics in there, and you have to actually compel them to address Muslim topics. And so for about a decade, I focused on doing that. And the reason the way I did it was, okay, if you, Zakir Naik, are not willing to defend Muhammad, then I'll find other Muslims who will. And then the other people would say, oh, but you're debating this guy and he's not Zakir Naik. I said, well, Zakir Naik's not willing to debate. I'm going to this guy. Because everyone, Christians up until then, they would say to a Muslim organization, you choose who your champion is. And then they would choose their champion. They would say, we only agree to do these topics. And then so basically they set all the rules, right? And we were only going to address a Christian topic. And they used to say back in the day, this used to be conditions of lots of debates with Muslims. This is before your time, AP. But it used to be a condition. If you criticize Muhammad or the Quran in any way, in any portion of this debate, the entire Muslim audience will get up and walk out. Really? So yeah, this was a condition back in the day. So I'm looking at that and saying these are the things that need to change. So one, need to get Muslim topics in there, and two, you need some debaters who are better reflect the true spirit and heart of Islam. So ended up getting it. I've done like 7 or 8 debates on Muhammad by now, just by using that approach and now it's pretty standard to have a mixture of topics, and to insist upon as many Islamic topics as there are Christian or non-Muslim topics. But the other thing that happened was I sort of cycled through a bunch of Muslim debaters and never really found someone. What you're looking for is someone who could be really popular, someone who could win the support of the Muslim community, but who's going to be aggressive, deceptive, condescending, nasty, angry, thumping the chest. Oh, I'm strong. Oh, I'm the strong one. Oh! So really get the Muslim community riled up. And hey, there's our champion, right? Because here's the thing. They don't get riled up like that for Shabir Ali. They just don't. They don't get riled up like that for Jamal Badawi. There are nice, calm, reasonable Muslims out there, but there's also this massive portion of the Muslim community that is looking for someone who's thumping their chest and me refute you, me crush you, me strong, right? They're looking for that. Yeah. And I'm saying, where is their champion? So we're sitting there going through all these debates, and I debated Bassam Zawadi and Abdullah Andalusi and Sami Zatari and Farhan Qureshi when he was still a Muslim. All these guys, none of them were that. None of them were what that part of the Muslim community was looking for. And then Mohammed Hijab came along, had no idea who he was, paid no attention to who he was, debated him, and then I realized that's the guy, man. That is the guy who could be more popular than Zakir Naik.
That's the accurate representation. Yeah, I get it.
He's tapping into real spirit of Islam, and he will be massively popular. And dude, I said it, you can go back to video clips, you can go back to my discussion, go back to 2018 when I first noticed that this is the guy, right? This is the guy I've been waiting for since 2004, 2005. It's the guy who is a better reflection of the true spirit of Islam, which, as Muhammad and his followers are going out, it's, hey, look, we're violent here, we're aggressive, we treat everyone else with pure contempt, we have no respect for honesty, we have zero integrity, we will lie to you in a heartbeat, we will deceive, we will crush you, and we're going to be thumping our chest and saying that this shows that God is with us every step of the way. And I saw Hijab and his community, and guess what? The overwhelming majority of the Christian community, I don't know about the atheist community, but the overwhelming majority of the Christian community, they look at this and they go, no, we don't want to deal with a guy like this. We want someone respectful like Shabir Ali. And I'm thinking, guys, you don't know. You're giving people a false impression of Islam when you have these gentlemanly scholars and so on come along and represent Islam. You're not showing people what Islam is really like. If you want people to know what Islam is really like, you need a different kind of Muslim champion, right? Hijab comes along. He's giant. He speaks with complete condescension towards everyone around him. He's hurling abuse. He's hurling insults. The Muslims are cheering for everything he said. He is so good at it that he can actually, you can give an argument against Islam. He can completely agree with exactly what you said, but act like he's refuting it, and the Muslims will cheer. Mindlessly cheer, right? Don't you remember that? When I said, hey, according to the Quran, Allah prays for Muhammad. Muhammad Hijab gets up. David, it's not to Muhammad, it's for Muhammad. And the crowd it's been destroyed. It's like, wait a minute. It's exactly the sort of person who is like Muhammad, someone who could, because if you look at the Muslim sources, you look at Muhammad. Muhammad was saying some of the stupidest things. I'm talking about Muhammad the Prophet here. Muhammad was saying the stupidest things anyone has ever said in the history of humanity, and yet he's persuading people. Why? He just sounded like he knew what he was talking about. He sounded like he's giving answers to these questions when he's saying some of the dumbest things ever. Anyway, you got someone like Hijab, and he's really tapped into that. So here's the thing. I said this. You could go back to 2018 after I noticed this, right? After I actually realized that this was the guy. This was the guy we've been waiting for. I said, guys, if we can actually get Muslims focused on this younger generation of chest thumping Muslim apologists, if we can marginalize the Shabir Alis and the Jamal Badawis and these guys, and actually have people like Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawa and these kinds of guys representing Islam, these guys will destroy Islam from within. Their egos are too big. They're already massively aggressive. They're already extremely arrogant. If they then get hundreds of thousands of followers supporting them, their egos will go through the roof, and they will simply destroy it. They will destroy Islam from within. I said it. I said it. That was 2018. Here we are, 2020, and Hijab is literally ending the careers of top Muslim scholars, right? And destroying people's confidence. Destroying people's confidence in the Quran. There's been nothing like this in my lifetime that came through the Quran, the story of the Quran, the narrative of the Quran, like a wrecking ball, like Mohammed Hijab just did in his interview with Yasser Qadhi. Nothing like this. I mean, this endless material. And so we're in this situation.
That's funny. I want to say that. It was always expected that we, the enemies of Islam, would destroy Islam, and that's the talk. And then it is the one of the biggest contemporary scholars and one of the biggest apologists coming together and destroying Islam so massively that they have to delete it to make it disappear, which will not happen.
Yeah, and the reason for that is the younger generation of Muslim apologists, they don't have the kind of wisdom about what you need to keep off limits and what you need to keep quiet and what you need to not comment on and what you need to you shouldn't discuss in public. They don't have that. It's full speed ahead. We'll crush everything that gets in our way. And Islam is proven true by everything, so they want to bring everything to the surface. And I knew it. I could tell these guys would destroy Islam. And that's why I said there's a part of me that hopes Hijab just crushes you, because I don't want him to get less. I mean, think if you went in there and wrecked Mohammed Hijab, and then people stopped following him, we're not done with Mohammed Hijab yet. He's going to be too useful to us, right? Think if he just ended Yasser Qadhi, it's like it was a joke, right? Get out of here, Yasser Qadhi! Boom, done. I mean, Yasser Qadhi was a guy who just a few years ago, James White was bowing to this guy. Yes. You're my source of all information on all things Islamic, right? So he's sitting here praising, and now he's gone. He's done. No one wants to come within 1,000 miles of this guy. And and here's the thing, Hijab is just getting started. So what I'm worried about right now is that hijab is going to recognize, whoa, I need to be more careful, man. If someone tells me don't, he doesn't want to talk about something, I need to not talk about it. I'm worried about him pulling back, looking at the damage he's caused, looking at the Muslims who are apostatizing because they recognize that their beliefs about the Quran are complete nonsense and that it was exposed on Muhammad's channel. And then seeing hijab and Yasser Qadi and all them delete it, and all these Muslims are going, what? Why are they deleting all this stuff? What did they come watch this stuff on our channels because they're deleting it on their channels, right? I'm thinking, hijab might actually pull back and say, hey, I need to grow in maturity and so on before I go out there like this. But if something happens where he crushed the apostate prophet, then everyone would cheer him on again, and that arrogance and narcissism would fill him again. And then what would happen? Well, he would go out full speed ahead. And who's going down? Zakir Naik's about to get crushed by this dude, right? Everyone's going to get crushed. He's going to tear everyone else down to lift himself up, and it would be a beautiful spectacle to watch. And so again, I'd like to see him refuted. But when I'm thinking, when the military general side of me is thinking, I'm thinking long term, I really want hijab to be the representative of Islam out there. I want him to be bigger than Zakir Naik. And as horrifying as that is to other people, no, why? Why the guy who thumps his chest and just told AP to commit suicide? Why this guy? Why this guy? I'm thinking exactly why. That is exactly why. All of the things that we find repulsive, so we don't want all of the character traits that we find repulsive, and we say we don't want those anywhere near, those are part of Islam, ladies and gentlemen. And so you need people who exhibit those characteristics and those traits so that people understand what Islam really is. So yeah, it's I mean, think about it. If you could have Muhammad, the actual Prophet Muhammad, in the room, or you could have some nice gentlemanly Muslim in the room, you would rather have some nice gentlemanly Muslim in the room with you. But if you really wanted people to understand Islam, you want the Prophet Muhammad covered in semen, with 9 wives, and you want that guy. That's the guy you want in the room to give people a real impression of what Islam really teaches. Anyway, I know I went on a big rant there.
No,
but
it's good. It's good. It's good. I started picking apart a few things. It's so funny. This guy's telling me all day. Has been telling me for several days now how unworthy and unimportant I am, and how he cannot waste his time with me. He has more important things to do. He's writing in the comment section. He's spamming the live chat. He's watching our stream here, making the dumbest, most childish comments that I've seen in my live chat so far. It's really incredible how much you are embarrassing yourself, dear Mohammed Hijab. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it's kind of funny because over on my channel, me and Sam Shamoon, we had Muhammad Week. We said any Muslim, 1 or 2 Muslims at a time, who wants to call in and join us live, we will give you time to make a case for your prophet, for why people should believe that you are a prophet, that Muhammad's a prophet, and that we would then have a friendly discussion about your reasons. And all the Muslims are saying, Muhammad Hijab will destroy you. Ali Dawah will destroy you. These guys just never call in. And it's the same Adnan Rashid. And it's funny because Adnan Rashid and Fareed Responds and all these guys, they have all the time in the world to make videos about us. But when we invite them on live, hey, you can talk to our entire viewership. They don't want to come near it. They don't want to come anywhere near it. And it's to defend their prophet. And guys, I'm sure you're not shocked to find out, but it is difficult to find Muslims who are actually willing to defend their prophet. They want all of those topics off limit. They don't want to come near defending their prophet. And so
let me tell you something. Speaking of Ali Dawah, Mohammed Hijab is right now doing exactly what Ali Dawah did. He's doing exactly that in different ways, but he's kind of doing what he did. Ali Dawah, several months ago, maybe half a year ago, maybe more, I don't know. I've completely lost my perception of time since that, dealing with these people. He asked me, he said, hey, I will destroy you, you boy. I don't even know what that means.
We'll get smashed.
We'll get smashed. I will destroy you, this and that.
We'll get smashed.
Come here, face me. Be a man, face me. And I said, yeah, beep. And I said, okay, Ali Dawah, I will face you. Let's have a debate. Let's meet up. either here in America or somewhere else. I don't know. Let's meet up and have a debate. Suddenly, Al Dawa disappeared and started making excuses, started insulting me, started making completely weird statements about me and my private life that he thought I was engaged in. I don't know. He turned it around like that. He challenged me first. I said, okay, let's have a debate. And then he suddenly chickened out, started insulting me, went away. Mohammed Hijab said half a year ago, I will destroy you. You're a cockroach. Your followers are sheep. You are, I don't know, a boy. You're finished. I will destroy you like Habib. And I said, I came out. I said, okay, fine. Let's.
Like Habib. Did you actually say like Habib, or did you add that? Because I said
he made some MMA references, like when we lock eyes, you will crap your pants, and you don't have the muscles. You're not physically ready. What has physically ready to do with debating Islam? You moron. Anyway, so I agreed to have a debate with this guy. And he made excuse after excuse after excuse to chicken out and go away. I really want to repeat one thing here. I challenged Mohammed Hijab. Am I centered? I don't even know. I challenged Mohammed Hijab 2 days ago. I challenged him actually 1 month ago. I challenged him 2 weeks ago. And I challenged him 2 days ago. 3 times. I want to make it clear again. Despite the horrible, idiotic, childish behavior that he has been, that he has been presenting, that everyone can clearly observe here, right down here in our live chat comment section, which he doesn't want to attend, of course, because he has more important things to do, because he's the great Mohammed Hijab. I challenged him before. I challenged him 3 times. I want to challenge him again, despite everything that he has done, just because I want this debate to happen. I want to debate Mohammed Hijab as we have agreed over the last few days in an online debate. I want to have an online debate with Mohammed Hijab. I want to sit down. I want to have a good moderator, modern day debate. The guy is a very great moderator, is very neutral, very kind guy. Has a good channel where many great debates are being held. David Wood was also there and had a debate. Matt Dillahunty is there having a debate, and so on. I want to have a debate with Mohammed Hijab right there. Mohammed Hijab's only condition, explicitly said by him several times, his only condition is that he will be allowed to personally attack me. He wants freedom of speech because he hates me and he cannot hold himself back. He needs to attack me. I grant him that permission. It's fine. You can attack me. You can personally attack me. You can insult me. Whatever you want. If that's your nature, if that's who you are, and we all, I guess we know that by now, then do that. No problem at all. But sit down with me and have a debate about whether Islam is the truth. You know very well, I told you from the very beginning that this was going to be an online debate. If you want to accept it right now. Right now. If you don't want to accept it and keep going on about, oh no, meet me face to face and this and that, then get out and be known as a coward. And you should know that within the following days, I will break this down. I will document each step of your behavior, of all your approaches, of all the different ways that you have tried to evade this simple debate. And I will make a nice video, put it out there and show to the entire world, including to your own audience, what a giant coward you are, Mohammed Hijab. Here's a final chance for you.
Yeah. So think about this. One, he's saying, you're not worth the time, and he's too busy and stuff like that. But he hangs out in the chat while you're live streaming. He probably hangs out in all your chats.
Yeah, he's probably always there.
Just finally couldn't control himself and commented. But think about this. So he's either pulling a Zakir Naik move, right, where he knows you don't want to, travel somewhere and set up a debate in person. But notice, I mean, if you're saying you're not worth it, you're not that important, well, that would make more sense for an online debate, right? Because hey, it's easy. We don't have to travel. If I'm not that important, then obviously we should just have a quick online debate, no problem. So why would you want to make a big event out of it? But two, notice, I pointed out earlier that Hijab is always looking for some advantage, and so what I would guess is that like Zakir Naik, he wants to stack the audience with Muslims who are going to cheer for everything he says, even if he says something that completely agrees with you, even if he just repeats what you just said. The audience will cheer for it, right? I know Christians from India. They say when Zakir Naik does an event, they said when he's doing an event in English, they said that the audience will be stacked with with Indian Muslims who do not even speak English. They're just trained when everyone else starts cheering, then cheer like crazy. Or when he raises his voice in a certain way, start cheering like crazy. So you have thousands of Muslims in an audience mindlessly cheering for things they do not understand, in order to give the impression that he's saying really awesome stuff. I would guess Hijab is trying to pull a stunt like that. You can't do it online. If it's one-on-one and then a moderator online, you can't get that crowd into it mindlessly cheering for every dumb thing you say.
I explicitly planned this. I very clearly planned this. I think it is quite obvious how I planned it this way and how I presented my conditions. I know exactly what Mohammed Hijab does. He goes out there, he goes with his little gang, he builds a stage where his guys are present, his little guys are present, where he has the footage, he streams it to his channel, he controls the debate title, the description, the comment section. I mean, just look at the comment section of the debates that he has. The comments are so restricted. Negative comments are not allowed, and he has to approve every comment that comes in, and he only approves comments that are in favor of Islam. That's how he conducts his debates. You can see that very clearly.
The other comments get abrogated.
Yeah,
like his discussion with Yasser Qadi.
So Mohammed Hijab manipulates public opinion whenever he has an encounter with somebody else who challenges him. He also does this typical thing where he wants to act like an MMA fighter and stand in front of a crowd, have a bunch of Muslims there, and just have these childish exchanges with them, like ask them to raise their voice and to applaud him, and do all these weird things. Just look into the room for validation, because he has nothing in his head and he has no confidence, and his faith is a bunch of garbage. That's why I very clearly designed this and said, it's going to be an online debate. You will come out of your comfort zone. You will be there in a room where you're not in your typical environment. We will have a neutral moderator so that we are both in the same conditions. We are both in the same fair conditions. We will have rules. It will be online, and you will not be able to have any possession of the debate footage. The debate footage will be exclusively owned by a third-party platform. I clearly designed all of this exactly because of his past disgusting behavior. And
no,
he didn't do
it. You filthy kafir. Let me tell you what the rules are going to be. We're going to meet in person, and the moderator is going to be Muslim, and you have to agree to a bunch of rules, which I'm not going to follow at all. I'm going to break everything we agree to, but you have to stick to it. I want the room stacked with Muslims who are going to cheer for anything I say, and then I get the footage, and then I'm going to delete all comments that are critical of me in any way. Those are the rules. That's what we call a fair debate in Islam. And if you do not agree to it, you're a coward. You're a coward. You're scared to meet me in person. You're scared.
He's scared of me. I destroy him.
You're scared you get smashed like my boy Khabib did.
Khabib, watch some MMA. I was getting ready. I was getting into the mood. Like, he finally told me that he has accepted my conditions. He's going to have a debate with me. I was putting some MMA videos in line. I was trying to go to the gym. I was going to hit the gym to get my muscles here in shape. I was trying to find out more about the story of Khabib and how he defeats his enemies, his opponents, how he smashes and destroys them. I was really preparing here, but unfortunately,
I did want to say though that the reason it is so awesome to do what we do right now, the reason this is so fun, is that the other thing, I talked about things I planned in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, these times, when I'm thinking, hey, what needs to change and what needs to get done. And, for years, I don't say this stuff in public because you don't want to know your plans. But I've come to realize that, massive portions of the Muslim community, they sort of can't stop themselves, right? They can't say, oh, David said this, therefore we'll do something else. So I could pretty much say exactly what I'm thinking. There's nothing they can do about it. They're sort of locked into their approach. But the idea is, my goal, when I thought of what is like the dream situation, if you really want to do damage to Islam, if you want to see Islam, the ideology, crumble in our lifetimes, what do we need? And I just thought, well, Islam is really personality and authority based. I'm sure you've experienced this probably tens of thousands of times, AP, where you can give an argument, they don't respond to the argument, they attack you, right? So it's So it's I lay out my argument and then, you can't trust David, he doesn't speak Arabic. You can't trust Apostate Prophet, he was not a real Muslim before, right? It doesn't matter, right? It's to discredit the person. It's like, wait a minute. If I lay out an argument, if I say all men are mortal, Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates is mortal, that argument stands or falls on its own merit. It doesn't matter who it's coming from, right? I'm irrelevant. Exactly. That could be coming from a man, could be coming from a woman, could be coming from an atheist, could be coming from a Christian, could be coming from a Muslim. The source doesn't matter. It's whether the argument is good or bad. In Islam, the main goal of their apologetics is to discredit the person who's giving the argument, in order to convince Muslims that you should not listen to the argument, in which case you do not have to examine the argument or respond to the argument. So I basically recognized years ago, man, we could get into this dream situation, this perfect fantasy world situation. Like, you couldn't dream of a better situation than this if you want to really blast away at Islam. If we can get into a situation where we are blasting away constantly, endlessly, daily. We're blasting away at the foundations of Islam. We are discrediting Muhammad. We're discrediting the Quran. We're shattering the myths that their entire religion has been founded upon. If we can get into a situation where we've got our canons and we're constantly blasting away at the foundations of Islam, but Muslim apologists are so enraged at us, and their ideology somehow compels them to be authority and personality based, we'll get into a situation where they're blasting away at us, constantly attacking us, trying to discredit us. Meanwhile, we're blasting away at the foundations of their religion. If we can get into that situation, they're done. The ideology is done. It's a matter of time. The reason it's a matter of time is, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I'm inconsequential. AP is inconsequential, meaning we're not foundational to anything. You could say you like us and we do great work. That's not the same thing. There are other people who can come along and do great work. There's no one else who can come along and be Muhammad for Muslims. There's nothing else that can come along and be the Quran. If Muhammad and the Quran and the myths that they're founded upon are shattered, there's nothing else, right? So if we get into the situation where we're going after the foundations of their religion, but they can't stop attacking us personally, guess what? If we do massive damage to Muhammad and the Quran during our lifetimes, and by the end of our lives they convince us, don't believe in them, they're jokes. Great, what have you done? We weren't relevant. We weren't relevant to anything. There is no ideology that depends on us, right? Islam depends on Muhammad and the Quran. So if we're discrediting Muhammad and the Quran and you're discrediting us, you lose. You're going to lose, and it's a matter of time. So I've been thinking about that, getting into that situation. And then I look, and then there's like 40 Muslim channels that are all dedicated to attacking my videos and attacking me. And meanwhile, I'm blasting away at Muhammad and the Quran constantly, and they're attacking me. And I'm like, do you not realize you've already lost? Done. You're done. We're locked in. Might be 3 years, might be 30 years, but you've already lost this one.
Amazing. That is one of the. I mean, that's kind of in the direction of why I wanted to have this debate with Mohammed Hijab. This is, the topic is very clear. If you look at the history of Mohammed Hijab having debates with people, he never ever debates Islam itself. He never debates the truth and the theology of Islam itself. He debates about morality, which you can debate about forever. It will not do a thing. He debates about other ideologies. None of that will do a thing. I want to stand with this guy and just debate about Islam itself. The core, the foundation of everything that he believes in and that his followers believe in. I knew exactly that he would never accept this debate, unless maybe he will be pushed enough that he won't want to be a coward, won't want to be called a coward anymore, and will probably maybe eventually accept the debate, which will be a huge mistake for him. But I knew exactly that he would do everything to run away from this. I will still publish a video about what a giant coward he is, because he has demonstrated it so badly and he has been a disgusting individual. But please, everybody, let's have this debate. Let's have this conversation. let Mohammed Hijab defend Islam itself directly, and let him explain whether Islam is the truth or not. I'm not even being arrogant. I'm not trusting myself here. I'm not making myself this big guy. I'm not caring about defeating somebody or smashing somebody. I don't care about that childish nonsense. That's not what I am. That's what these people are about. I just want to sit there and have a genuine conversation between these two people, me and him, about whether Islam is the truth or not. Very simple, nothing else. I know he does exactly what you were just saying. He doesn't even come after my intellect or my education. He targets my body, my muscles, my fighting abilities, my fitness. What the hell? What are you talking about?
You could not stand up to Khabib. Khabib would smash you, boy.
This
is the power of Al-Islam.
Al-Islam.
I love this. It's funny. It's funny we're sitting here making fun of it, but I'm sitting here thinking I love this dude, man. I could not. If using my limited creative abilities, if you had said, David, design the perfect representative of Islam that you want for the future, I could have come up with like 85 to 90% of Hijab, but he's better. He's better than I could have dreamed of. I wouldn't have dreamed of the like 6'8". It wouldn't have entered my mind. I wouldn't, because there just aren't a lot of people like that. So yeah, I was just, he's just, wow, what a, this is awesome. This is awesome stuff. Oh yeah. Check this out. So I got this video clip.
But by the way, I have to say something. Don't forget what you're saying. The stream was called Muhammad's wicked morality, but we have spent an hour talking about Mohammed Hijab's cowardice instead. So I changed the topic. And made it Mohammed Hijab's cowardice. I'm very sorry about that. Yeah,
you can always change the topic afterwards so that people who are clicking on it know what they're going to do. I do that all the time. Change the topic after we find out what we're actually. Sometimes topics change. Yeah. But Hijab. So in our debate, when I said, "Hey, look, according to Quran, Allah prays for Muhammad," Hijab got up. This is a career-ending mistake for David Wood. He doesn't know Arabic. Let me show you. It's not Allah. It's Allah prays for Muhammad, not to Muhammad. And the crowd burst into cheers. Right? Said exactly what I said. Allah prays for Muhammad. Right? Now check this out. Now obviously after the debate, he caught some flack over that, and people were asking about it. I got a video of him talking to Hatun Tash. And notice, I can make a video about this right now. I talked about it on a live stream way back in the day, but I can make a video out of this to really show this guy's character, because I don't remember what it was. A week or two later, he was at Speaker's Corner, and Hatun Tash asked him, "Well, why did you say that Allah prays for Muhammad? You admitted that Allah prays for Muhammad." He said, "No, I didn't. No, I never said it. And then so she starts looking for the video clip. She starts looking for the video clip of him saying it. And then, paraphrasing here, we could find the clip to I still got it on my computer, but we could actually look at what he said. But think about this, ladies and gentlemen. He's talking to Hatun Tash, and then he responds to Hatun Tash. He goes, "Oh, I get it. You don't speak English very well, so you're confused. You think I said Prays, praise, he prays, when I said Praise, praise. See, that's your problem. You don't know English." And then, of course, his fans, his little crowd at Speaker's Corner, all cheering. And I'm sitting there looking at that going, wait a minute. There is no way that's what he said, right? You don't say Allah prays for Muhammad and Praise. It doesn't make any sense. He would be the one who doesn't speak English there, if that's what you were saying. But he knows that he's talking to Hatun. English is her second language. But notice the parallel, right? When he's talking to me, he agrees with me completely, lies about what I said, and then, it's because David doesn't speak Arabic, and his fans cheer. Then he's talking to Hatun. He does the exact same thing, except he lies about what he said, and then attacks her English ability. And then his fans love it. Yay! Muhammad destroyed her. And I'm like, this is your champion, Muslims? A guy whose primary tactic is lying and then attacking your language ability, and then getting a crowd who can't follow anything that was said but are going to mindlessly cheer for it. This is the champion. And we discussed that in a live stream back then, and it was shortly after that was shortly after the debate, but it was shortly after that I realized I'm actually going to stop going after this guy, because I want this guy to blow up in popularity for a while. Let him blow up for 5 or 10 years, become bigger than Zakir Naik, and then they will have this the great ape of apologetics here.
So
with Ali Dawa, his bigly. You're probably too. Are you too young to know what that means?
bigly what?
You don't know what that means?
No, no.
There's a cartoon way back in the day with Great Ape. That's not an insult. He was just this giant. He was just this giant, like 40 foot tall. And then he was so big that he would skateboard on a van.
Uh-huh.
And then his buddy was bigly. And so in my generation, you called any really giant person, you just called him Great Ape. Like, hey, Great Ape. And so that's what comes to mind when it's a job. But my goodness, right? This is the method. And guess what? Here's what's amazing. They love it. His fans love it.
I know.
You could sit 1,000 of his fans down, line them all up, and say, "Okay, I said this. He said the same thing. Made up something that I didn't say. Then agreed with what I said. Then claimed to destroy me on language. Then, in case you thought that was an accident, in case you thought no, maybe he just slipped, he wasn't paying attention or something, it was an accident. He then goes somewhere else in a completely different part of the world with a woman." Does the same thing, lies about what was said, then attacks her language ability, then gets all his fans to cheer. Do you guys have any problem with that? They don't. As long as it sounds like, as long as you give the impression of victory, as long as you are thumping your chest, as long as you're doing that, they love you. And so this is why I say, man, you cannot have. I challenge every one of you out there. Show me a representative of Islam who should be a Muslim apologist, who should be representing Islam in debates. Show me someone who would be a better reflection of the true heart and spirit of Islam than this guy who just told AP to go kill himself.
Yep.
Who's better? There is no one. It's the total package. Deception, aggression, all of this stuff. Gosh, man. I said at one point, at some point, like probably over a year ago, I said, man, if I didn't actually want my money to be used for dawah, I would actually fund these guys. I would bankroll them to take over the Islamic apologetics world, because that's recently what happened
with this guy that was over at my channel for a discussion, Daniel Hikikachu. I invited him here. He made a complete idiot of himself. He said the most horrible things. His logic was so incredibly awful. He really departed from here, sent people over who clearly have Muslim YouTube accounts who come here and say stuff like, I'm not a Muslim, but I have to agree with Daniel Hikikachu here. And they go around insulting me for days, slandering me for days, making stupid little cut videos. And the people on my channel are just all saying the same thing. This guy, Daniel Hikikachu, has done more damage to Islam than you did in 2 years. That's what they're telling me. Yeah. That's what these people are doing. But you know what Mohammed Hijab reminds me of? People like him. When I was in high school. Sorry, I don't want to be that guy right now. I don't want to sound like a nerd. But I don't
think you can help that, AP. No turning back on that one now.
When I was in high school, I thought, there was like, there are groups in high school. In a classroom, there are certain groups of people, and I would sit there and I would try to study through my stuff, still have these conversations with people, and then there is this group in the corner of the room of these completely mindless, idiotic people. They have one leader who is who is doing all the talking because he's the only person who is remotely intelligent, and he has no clue of anything that is going on, in the world. But he's just trying to impress his little people in the back by saying these tough things, by saying these cool things, by trying to bully people, by trying to make completely idiotic remarks about the world and about everybody else. And those people behind him just cheer for him and just applaud him, like, yeah, that's right, yeah, you're my guy, bro. And everyone wants to hang out with him. That is exactly the mentality of Mohammed Hijab. I thought these guys were idiots when I was in high school. And I see Mohammed Hijab, he completely reminds me of just those people. I don't see a difference. I kind of understand it when you do stuff like that when you're 16 years old, Mm-hmm. If you do stuff like that when you're 16 years old. But we have a guy here who's like, I don't know how old he is. He's like close to his 40s or something, and he's still acting like a complete little moron. And I know you're a Christian, David. I don't want to get into these things, but I bet you are seeing what he sees, what Mohammed Hijab is currently saying in the comment section.
Last comment I saw, he was saying, I should give you a golden shower or something like that. Yeah, just in case everyone is not familiar. So earlier he told the apostate prophet to kill himself, and now he's saying that I should urinate on the apostate prophet. Now, for
sexual pleasure, by the way.
So this is Europhiliac.
This is your representative, dear Muslims.
Yeah.
This is the guy that you are all proud of.
And here's what's interesting, right? There are tons of Muslims out there who would be horrified at this, saying, "Whoa, no." And there are other Muslims who, yes, tell them to give them golden showers. Just like, you smashed him. Your boy got smashed. Right? There are people like that. But guess what? When you go back to the Muslim sources and you ask who's a better representative of Islam here, what did Muhammad say? If anyone brags about his lineage, tell him to go bite his father's penis and do not use a euphemism. That is a quote from Muhammad. What did Abu Bakr say? In the presence of Muhammad, when they had one of the unbelievers here, he said, go suck Allah's clitoris.
Yep.
Go perform oral sex on your goddess. That's how these guys talk. So when you see someone like Hijab, golden shower, me Hijab, right? That's exactly what Muhammad and his companions were like. Exactly, right? That's exactly what they were like.
Mohammed Hijab is supposed to be this morally amazing representative of the Muslim community who fights against the Islamophobes because he represents Islam, which is of course in possession of this amazingly great morality. Here's a series of four or five screenshots that I have just taken from all the stuff that he has said in the comment section. Number one. Mohammed Hijab said, get on your knees for David Wood. This is your Muslim apologist to Muslims. Number two, David Wood can give you a golden shower. He is very familiar with that term. He said, go ahead and give David Wood what he wants. He's, of course, implying again something sexual. Get on your knees for your master boy. That's what he also said. He's still going on. This is just the stuff that I got so far. I wanted to talk about the wicked morality of Muhammad here in this live conversation.
You're done, dude. You got it. You got everything you need.
I have the wicked morality and the cowardice of Muhammad from the 21st century, of Mohammed Hijab right here. It's right there. And all inspired by Muhammad, by the holy prophet, by the amazingly moral prophet Muhammad. This is what you people are.
And it's funny because he can't even come back later and say that's not him because it's got the check mark by his name on the screenshots. Yeah.
It's got the check mark. And you can go on his profile.
You
land directly on his channel.
You can make endless videos. Again, I'm gonna let him slide for a while longer because this dude is too useful. Dude is too useful to what we do. He's basically amplifying it, right? He's amplifying everything we want. We say, hey guys, the Quran's been changed. The Quran's been altered. We try for years, and all of a sudden, Mohammed Hijab, in an hour and a half interview, completely just destroys the faith of Muslims in the Quran, right? Yeah. I've been trying for years to do that. He did it without even trying. That's how awesome this guy is. That's our new champion, man.
Mohammed Hijab with his check mark that he got from dear YouTube by telling people that people should be executed for leaving Islam, is now here crying and telling people to take a golden shower and to give each other oral sex.
AP, think about it. We can't get check marks, right?
Yeah, I can't get a check mark. Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube's like, no, David, an apostate prophet, you can't get check marks because you criticize Islam. We'll give a check mark to the guy talking about getting on your knees and getting a golden shower here because he's the guy we like at YouTube.
Yeah. I want to call him Muhammad Golden Shower Hijab from now on. That's what I want Mohammed Hijab to be from now on. Mohammed Golden Shower Hijab. That's what Mohammed Hijab. That's stuff that I don't say. I'm supposed to be the guy who has no morals by his as he says it, who has no standards, no morals, nothing to stand on because I'm an atheist, and he's supposed to be the morally superior guy. I would never go out there and say, hey, you should give each other a golden showers.
Yeah. I mean, for real, we we blast away at Muhammad, but we don't have to we don't have to make stuff up, and because it's all there, right? We can go around saying, hey, why don't you go follow someone who's covered in semen? We don't have to make that stuff up, right? They do that, right? So it's yeah. It would never occur to me to talk like that anyway.
Everybody,
here's the thing, AP. If I were to go around talking to Muslims like that, I would be called out endlessly by Christians. I would have thousands of messages from Christians the next day condemning me, saying, how dare you say that? You're a horrible representative. And here you have the new champion, the Khabib of Islamic apologetics here. Golden showers. Get on your knees for him. Go kill yourself. And Muslims love it, man. They love it. Not all. You have a different kind of Muslim out there, but the ones who actually have absorbed the spirit of their ideology, perfect. You can't get better. You can't get any better. Show me. I challenge 1.6 billion Muslims, ladies and gentlemen. Show me one person in the world who deserves to take the reins of Islamic apologetics more than this guy.
I have to say, there are definitely Muslims who will appear here in the comment section or after this live chat who will go out and say, hey, I completely disagree with what Mohammed Hijab has said. He has acted disgustingly. This is not how we act. There will be Muslims who will go out and say that. I have no doubt about that. Although I have to say, I suspect that most Muslims who say that they don't agree with Mohammed Hijab's approach will also say, but Apostate Prophet deserves this and this and this and that and that and that. But of course, I grant it. There will be Muslims who will go out there and say, I really don't agree with Mohammed Hijab's very immoral and disgusting behavior. But here we are. We have currently the biggest representative that these young Muslims are so proud of, the biggest Muslim apologist that these people are so proud of. He's telling us to take golden showers. By the way, to all the viewers, to everyone who's in the comment section, please let me know how you like the idea of having a poster back there of Mohammed Golden Shower Hijab. That would be a fantastic thing for my background. Tell me what you think.
AP, and I mean, think about this, right? This is the guy. This is the guy who's being put. He's being put forward by Zakir Naik, right?
Yeah.
Zakir Naik's calling him, right? And then you've got Yasser Qadhi going on shows with him. You've got all these Muslims going on shows, and he's over here, golden showers. I mean, see, I told you I'm not interested in going after Mohammed Hijab except for in a fun way. But right now, Muslims are locked in. They've got nowhere else to go. They're going to Mohammed Hijab. He's going to become your champion. It doesn't matter what he says, and he's proving it right now, right? So I'm not interested in going after him, but you could in theory use this against Zakir Naik, and as more problems with Yasser Qadhi, right? Say, Zakir Naik's new champion talks about, and then you've got, the golden showers and stuff, and say, this is the guy that Zakir Naik is championing and telling to go out and represent Islam. Wow. Now we're understanding a lot about Zakir Naik and what he really thinks.
Yeah. This is so funny. You see the giant hypocrisy, the giant moral hypocrisy on these people's parts. It's so amazing.
No, it goes into them just living these complete double lives, right? I mean, imagine when I debated him, he's apart from the issue of him violating every agreement that he made. And again, they weren't agreements. They weren't my ideas. They weren't my ideas. These are things that the Muslims said, you have to agree to these things. So we agree to them. He breaks all of them. Spends every time he gets to speak, he insults me, which I normally wouldn't care. I wouldn't care at all. I get insulted all day, every day. I'm kind of used to it, right? But then when one of the times he was speaking, he goes, and we don't insult their gods. I'm thinking, what? That's all you guys do. That's all you guys literally spend all day, every day attacking the Trinity and the deity of Christ. And so, but they want it both ways. They want, hey, you see, we don't insult other people's religions, when that's all they do. That's all the Quran does. But they want the
Quran mocks their gods.
They want the reputation of someone who would be so tolerant that he wouldn't criticize another person's beliefs about God. And yet they still want to mock people's beliefs, right? So they want it both ways. But it's the same thing with morality, right? We want to be the noble pillars of morality, and yet we want to be insulting people in a way that you would not expect this from the lowest of the low, right? I mean, the worst, nastiest insults you can come up with, these are put forward by the champion. Watch him after this. If he catches flack over it, if it actually gets back to Zakir Naik and Yasir Qadhi and stuff, you're gonna say, "Oh, my account was hacked. My account was hacked. It was not me. Someone hacked my account and posted those comments."
No, you know what? To be very honest, David, Mohammed Hijab can say the worst things that come to his disgusting mind. He can say the worst things. He's still going on, by the way. People should take screenshots of these.
All of that stuff, yeah.
People, everybody, you should screenshot these things and spread them everywhere. This is what Mohammed Hijab is. But Mohammed Hijab could say the most filthy things that come to his mind and the worst things that come to his mind. And these things could really be issues that the great Muslim apologists, the Muslim scholars, and the most Muslims in the Muslim community disagree with. He could do the filthiest, most disgusting things. All it would do is that an Islamic scholar would sit down with him and would say, "Hey, you shouldn't have done that." And Mohammed Hijab will say, "Yeah, I might have overreacted," and that's it. That's all there is to it. And then Mohammed Hijab will continue representing Islam with his perfectly sublime manners and morals. That's exactly what will happen.
He will continue destroying Islam without even realizing it. Same thing with your buddy Daniel. What's his last name?
Pikachu.
Daniel. Yeah, I've only watched one of his videos, but it was very interesting. Someone sent it to me and said, "David, could you comment on this, because this is amazing stuff here."
There's very good material. You should actually do that.
It's him complaining about how LGBTQ is infiltrating the Muslim community and all the steps they used to do it. But it was like every step he gives is exactly something that Muslims do, right? So like everything he said. So you have to label anyone who disagrees with you as hate mongers, and that's what the LGBTQ is doing. Like, what? That's exactly what you guys do, right? Every single thing he complains about the LGBTQ community is something that has been part of the campaign about everything is Islamophobia campaign, since the 1990s. But yeah, along the same lines, right? That these guys, they have their fans. And this is why they'll continue on this path. They have a band of very vocal, aggressive supporters who cheer them on. And since these people cheer them on, they're constantly hearing these cheers. Yes, continue at it. Yes, continue telling these men to take their golden showers. Yes. They're cheering them on, and so they're doing it, and they're not realizing that now they're exposing Islam to the rest of the world. The rest of the world is looking at that and going, whoa, I had a Muslim neighbor, and my Muslim neighbor was like the nicest, most generous guy I've ever met in my life. So I was thinking that represents Islam. But you're telling me these guys are actually the representatives of Islam? Oh my goodness, I've changed my mind about Islam. I need to look into this. Let me look up some videos. Oh, Apostate Prophet. Let me check out this guy's channel.
Yep. So you're doing us all a great favor. Thank you so much, dear Mohammed Hijab. You are doing us a fantastic, great favor. This is actually much better than my initial request and what I wanted from you. I wanted a debate from you where you could fairly represent your Islamic ideas and beliefs, which you have run from like the big coward that you are. But now you are doing us this favor. Now you are showing this face to everybody, and all those people who will encounter Mohammed Hijab and associate everything that they have seen tonight with your name will be like, wait, this is the big representative of Islam? This is the guy that everyone tells me to watch? This is the guy that everyone says defeats the critics of Islam? This is the guy that I should trust? Someone who goes around and says, oh, give him a golden shower, give him a golden shower, give him a golden shower, go on your knees. That's the guy that I should trust? This is the guy I should lead.
I don't have time. I don't have time to do an online debate with you, but I can spend an hour and a half talking about golden showers. I mean, the level of thinking here's what's amazing, right? I need to get screenshots of all this, because again, gosh, I do not want to criticize him, but I do want to expose Islam and expose Islam for producing this. But the comments I get from Mohammed Hijab fans, they're just like this. They're just like he is, right? Yeah. The comments I get from Mohammed Hijab fans, I'll give this brilliant argument in a video. I'll give this awesome, epic, brilliant argument defending some point. And Mohammed Hijab fans will come in there and go, huh, you're posting this after Mohammed Hijab held you down and anally raped you for 3 hours? Right? And it's like, this is how you guys respond. This is how you respond to arguments and stuff, right? And then you look at who their champion is. So if you kind of put all this together, if you put these together and the kind of comments that you get from Mohammed Hijab fans, and then you put out there that this is a guy that, Yasser Qadi wants to work with until, Hijab ended his career. But then, Zakir Naik is promoting and so on. You can make some powerful, powerful points about Muhammad and Islam, especially if you tie it to a lot of the things that Muhammad and his companions said, because that was some nasty, disgusting stuff.
I just want to do this very quickly, David, just so that everyone else can quickly enjoy a brief preview of this stuff, just so that it is very bigly on the screen here. Bigly. Give me a second. Here, let me read this out for you. Mohammed Hijab, with a check mark that he deserved and got from YouTube, says, "Get on your knees for your master, boy." Mohammed Hijab says, "Go ahead and give David Wood what he wants. David Wood can give you a golden shower. Let him slap your face. Get on your knees for David Wood."
hey, Hijab, assuming that the white guy would be the master is frankly kind of racist. Yeah. I understand that where you come from, Muhammad was a white slave owner who bought, owned, sold, and traded black African slaves and so on. But you're kind of racist here, Hijab.
Yeah, that's really being very racist and disgusting of you, Mohammed Hijab. By the way, Mohammed Hijab is I would go ahead and assume that he's simply projecting here, that he's simply his mind is very much bothered and preoccupied by golden showers and men giving each other oral satisfaction, so much that he's projecting this and telling us here about it. I know for a fact that Mohammed Hijab is very strong in terms of projection, because Mohammed Hijab just today and many other times told me that I was very depressed and and that I'm nihilistic. I'm at the end of my life. Nothing makes sense to me. I'm very sad. I'm very depressed. It's you can very clearly see it in my face. No, you can very clearly see it in my face, which is why I should commit suicide. By the way, Mohammed Hijab is also the same guy who has recently posted this, which I find very strange. Let me show you what he posted here. What he says about life. Mohammed Hijab, life is all about pain management, and then you die.
Gosh, that's kind of dark.
I was in a bad place when he posted this. When he posted this, I was in a bad place. I was in a dark place. Seriously, I was like, I wasn't feeling very well. But he posted this. I saw that and I was like, man, what the hell?
Life is all about pain management, and then you get a golden shower. Allahu Akbar. What's wrong with him? Guys, if you just tuned in, it is not us talking about this, right? Don't think, if you just clicked on this, you're like, what? He's talking about golden showers? No, Hijab's talking about golden showers. We're making fun of him for being obsessed with this. How many comments did he post about the golden shower? We're saying this is disgusting. It's disgusting to hear this stuff, but this is where Islam is heading. It is so awesome. And you know what it is, AP. You know what it is. You know as well as I. As Islam grows and expands, it becomes more aggressive, treats people in a more condescending fashion, right? And you've got people like Hijab who think Islam is so big, and they're looking at the statistics, and by 2040, by 2050, we're the most powerful force, and therefore we can start treating these guys like we want to treat them. We can start doing it now. We can start acting like we want to act towards them now, not realizing too soon. Should have waited a couple decades. Should have waited a couple decades, because that ain't nowhere till it's done, right?
I really have to say I have no idea what you just said, because I'm still I'm still at life is all about pain management, and then you get a golden shower.
Life is all about pain management. Then you get down on your knees, not to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but so that your friend can give you golden showers. This is the champion of Islam that we're responding to, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God!
So go jump off a cliff, and the angel Gabriel will not save you. What a religion, man.
Man. Oh my
This
God.
turn,
I
this
can't
turn.
keep it again.
I thought this live stream was going to be us going through all these sources on Muhammad and
Me
stuff like
too.
this, all this nasty stuff, and we're going to be talking about Muhammad covered in semen and having sex with a prepubescent girl and torturing people for money and all this stuff, and then you said, hey, hijab just backed out of the debate. Let's talk about hijab. Yeah, okay, turned out pretty fun.
Oh my God. I can't get over that. Yeah. So, yeah. As said, we were going to talk about what the hell is happening? Oh yeah, I'm trying to move stuff around on my desktop. I'm sorry. So we were really going to sit down today. I thought, hey, I haven't had a chat with David Wood in such a long time. I thought it would be a great pleasure. It would be fantastic to sit down together to talk about several things that we want to do together in the future that people have asked us about. But most importantly, it would be great to sit down and do everyone a favor and quickly go again through all those sources and talk about why Muhammad is so filthy. The Prophet Muhammad. I'm not talking about this filthy Muhammad. I'm talking about the Prophet Muhammad. Why Prophet Muhammad has such a wicked morality. All the things that he has done. Why you cannot trust him. Why Muslims should stop following him, and all that stuff. And I was really. It was tedious work. I thought I'll go through all these sources, and then Mohammed Hijab makes a Twitter post, announces that he doesn't want to debate me because I didn't tell him that the debate was going to be online, although I clearly told him by everybody's, according to numerous witnesses, it's right there just yesterday. So we wanted to talk about this, and here's Mohammed Hijab making a fantastic show in the name of Islam right now.
Whoa, hey, what if he's not? What if he's not the doofus we think he is? What if he's an undercover genius? Because think about what he just did. We were going to spend a 2-hour live stream blasting his prophet, making fun of his prophet.
Oh
What
my
if?
God.
What if he's an undercover genius? Came in here and said, "I'll start talking trash and I'll back out of a debate and I'll get these guys talking about me in order to protect the honor of my prophet." What if he's an undercover genius who just got us to attack him instead of his prophet?
Wow.
You weren't even ready for that.
Wow. Mohammed Hijab, you're a very smart man.
Bravo! If that was your intention,
You have,
Mohammed Hijab.
you have rescued your holy prophet. You have saved your holy prophet from the tongues, from embarrassment. You have done a great work for Islam today, Mohammed Hijab. Thank you so much. I have to applaud your genius here tonight. I didn't see that coming. I really didn't see that coming.
Hey, did you see the comment from Thomas L. I'm not sure what language this is. El Oich
What?
says Muhammad was on his knees for Dihya Kalbi. You familiar with that source?
Which
Muhammad's
source?
companion, Dihya Kalbi. Dihya the dog.
Uh-huh.
There's in the Muslim sources, people would see this young hot dude leaving Muhammad's place, and they would ask, "Hey,
Oh, yeah.
what are you doing with Dihya El Kalbi coming out your house?" And he said, "No, that was the angel Gabriel, right?" And so he said the angel Gabriel looks exactly like Dihya, and so whenever you see whenever you see Dihya Kalbi coming out of his house, it's because the angel Gabriel is visiting him, and he just happens to look like this young hot dude. Oh man! This religion, man.
This religion is crazy. I've been thinking for quite a while. It's like when you criticize Islam, or when you talk about Islam, when you defend Islam, even when it's just about defending Islam, when you talk about Islam, between people who defend it and people who criticize it, you talk about the most disgusting stuff in the world, and it is relevant to the topic of Islam. That's what Islam is. You talk about the most disgusting stuff in the world, and that is relevant to Islam. Islamic apologetics revolve around the most disgusting topics that come to a person's mind. So this is the reputation of Islam. The reputation of Islam is we're talking about child marriage. We're talking about suggestions to other child marriages. To Muhammad having semen on his clothes all the time, having 11 wives, being told by his followers that he has the sexual strength of 30 men, having sex with a sex slave behind the back of his wives, and then legitimizing that with the the Quran. Apparently meeting with a strange man who he claims is the angel Gabriel at home. We're talking about the most disgusting stuff in the world, and it's a legitimate discussion about Islam.
Yeah, and the reason is, I mean, that's what the Muslim sources are about. I mean, you could pull a volume of the Hadith off the wall and open it up to a random page, and it's either going to be about slaughtering the unbelievers in the name of Allah, or Aisha scraping the semen off Muhammad's clothes, or Muhammad having sex with 9 women and girls in one night and then only taking one bath. It's going to be about something like that, right? And that's why, if you study Islam, then, gosh, that's what you're dealing with. And if you want to examine the Muslim sources, that's just what you're dealing with.
Sometimes something overcomes me, and I think maybe I feel a little bit bad for this guy called Mohammed Hijab right now. And Mohammed Hijab maybe came here tonight and genuinely thought, because he was so provoked by my mockery of him and by people calling him a coward, he really came here onto this live chat and to think, to vent a little bit and to think that he's doing something great, to think that he's coming here to humiliate us. And all he has done, no matter how you look at it from whatever perspective you want to look at it, but all he has done is just to completely embarrass himself and Islam. He has done nobody any favors tonight. He's been completely disgusting. He's been completely stupid, idiotic, and he has given us so much material to talk about something so good.
Can you imagine that, though? Can you even imagine Mohammed Hijab coming onto a live stream and completely embarrassing himself and his religion? Oh, wow.
I couldn't see that coming.
It's got deja vu, man. Hey, you remember this, guys? Did you see that interview? You had Mohammed Hijab, so confused, and we've seen the hijab clips. We've seen the hijab clips where he's going to scholars who are telling him, no, the differences in the Quran are just accents. They're just different accents, right? And so he finally gets Sheikh Yasser Qadhi talking about this, and man, Yasser Qadhi can set this record straight, because all these Christians and atheists, they're saying that there are these different Qurans in different parts of the world, and that different Muslims in different areas have different versions of the Quran. But finally, the great Yasser Qadhi will correct this. And then it's one epic train wreck, the entire thing, just completely destroying the foundations of Islam. And then Hijab tries to salvage it at the end. He said, but, if I gave you a blank mushaf, you could put together the Quran, right? Yasser Qadhi, nope, no, could not be done, cannot happen. Sorry. End of Yasser Qadhi's career. All thanks to, hey, I don't know if you saw this, but it wasn't just Hijab. It was also Fareed Responds. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I've only watched one Fareed Responds video. I think I've only watched one Fareed Responds video ever. But someone sent me a link to a Muslim who's blasting Fareed for being the one who initially leaked.
Yeah.
The comments of Yasser Qadhi. And so, guys, think about this situation. You have Yasser Qadhi that it was respected around the world, as a Muslim scholar, right? And then, but behind the scenes, he's saying, I have some doubts about whether the theories that Muslim scholars have about the ahruf and kirat, I don't think that these can actually stand up to critical scrutiny without us just being, just agreeing with them because we're Muslims, right? If we were to actually subject them to critical scrutiny, according to our own sources, our theories cannot stand up to scrutiny, and I'm concerned about that. And then then Fareed, I'm exposing this, right?
Yeah.
So he shares the emails, and then because this becomes an issue, Mohammed Hijab is dumb enough to think that Yasser Qadhi is going to come in there and fix all this and say, oh, no, let me explain what this really is. Of course, the Quran's been perfectly preserved right down to the letter. I only meant that, I'm concerned about different accents, right? He thinks he's going to say something like that and completely destroys it. And so, guys, this goes back to what I said much earlier here. These young, aggressive Muslims who who lack the maturity of their older counterparts who've been through this for many, many years, when these guys get big followings, they'll destroy their religion. They will not be able to handle it. See, See, I got a big following. I have a big following online. I got that after doing some of the most horrible things a person has ever done, spending years in jails and prisons. So by the time I get a big following, I'm pretty convinced that I was one of the most horrible people who's ever walked the planet, and yet I'm given a second chance. So that comes with a degree of wisdom, thinking, hey, I have a bunch of followers. That's not because of how great I am, because I've seen how screwed up I am. So do not take this sort of stuff for granted, right? Whereas these young guys coming in, all of a sudden they're getting, whatever it is, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of fans and views, and they're already arrogant and they're already narcissists and so on. And then their religion amplifies it. It tells them to be aggressive. It tells them to be like this. And then they get this crowd cheering them on. These guys will annihilate all the foundations of their religion single-handedly. We can sit back and watch. We can retire, AP. We can retire, sit back and watch these guys annihilate their religion. But it might be, on the other hand, it might be good for us to keep provoking them, because that does make them, go on these sprees.
I mean, Farid is one of those young people who started his YouTube channel just without the sole aim of refuting my videos. That's what he started out with. He created the YouTube channel. He said it very clearly. He said that he only started this because he wanted to refute me and my videos, because my channel was getting too popular and he couldn't handle it, and nobody else was doing it. And he even went out after he was done, after he made 50 videos about me, of which I watched like 10 or so, I don't know. He went out and said, I'm sorry, everybody. Unfortunately, Apostate Prophet has grown too much, and I was too late. He made such a video, such a stream. He says, I'm very sorry. I apologize. I did the best I can. And the best he could do was bring such stupid arguments, like saying, well, people didn't witness the moon splitting in two because people were asleep at night, and it was the 7th century, which I want to make a video about very soon. So these young Muslim apologists are really, they're not doing Islam any favor. They're doing us big favors. The other guy, Daniel Hikikachu, comes here and says, I don't know if you have seen that. He said something like, something along the lines of, I asked him, do you think is slavery good? Do you think slavery is morally acceptable? And he said, yes, I don't think slavery is morally wrong. And I asked him to explain. He explained it like for 10 minutes. And you know what it came down to, what it broke down to? He said, slavery is essentially the same as capitalism, as employment, but it is actually better than employment, because think about it. He said, think about it. You have if you get a car, buying a car is better than renting a car, because if you rent a car, then it is not yours and you don't take very good care of it. But
I agree.
If you buy a car,
or a toaster, right? It's like buying a toaster.
Yeah, like a toaster. Or if you buy a toaster, then you take very good care of it. If you rent it, then you don't take care of it. Which, by the way, says a lot about his morality. I take much better care of something that I rent than about something that I own, because I respect the person who actually owns this thing, whom I have to return this stuff to. So that says a lot about Daniel Hikikachu, actually. But his logic was, it's better to own a car than to rent a car, because you will treat the car better. And capitalism means renting a person, while slavery means owning a person. If you own the person rather than rent the person, then you will take better care of the person, which means slavery is better fundamentally. That is the argument. And here's Mohammed Hijab talking about golden showers. So this is really what's going on. You know what I find fantastic. We'll probably sit down in the future and say, hey, David, do you remember that one night where Mohammed Hijab was spamming the comment section?
Oh yeah, this is classic. This is fun. This is good comic relief, I think. Yeah, this is a story for the future. This is a story for speaking presentations, right? This is all right. Here's my PowerPoint presentation on the true spirit of Islam, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, check out these comments. This comes from one of the most popular Muslim apologists in the world.
David, do you remember that night where Mohammed Hijab was telling us to give each other a golden shower?
Wow. Oh my God. Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad, what he produced, man.
Yeah.
Quick comment right here. The Wawi, if you're still listening, the Wawi said, I want to have a respectable discussion. Don't call me coward. I'm a man of respect. He's responding to someone else. Apparently someone called him a coward or something like this. The Wawi, I'm assuming you're the same person who sent me an email earlier. Just do something for me. Test your internet connection, right? Test your internet connection. So go to Google, type in speed test on Google, speed test, run the test, and then email me those two numbers, because that'll help me assess how good your internet will be for live streaming. But send me that, and yeah, we can definitely set something up.
Awesome. I want to go through some comments and some super chats. If you,
Sure.
Yeah, I don't want to let those slide. I always want to catch those super chats and respond to them. Igal O became a member of the channel, became a prophet of the channel. You can go down, by the way, if you want to become a member of the channel, which is also called a prophet. You can go down and press the join button. Igal O just became a member of the channel and also officially a prophet, which is, of course, amazing. Thank you so much and welcome. Hindu Historian made a super chat and didn't add any comments. Thank you so much, Hindu Historian. I appreciate it. Dr. Lingui Art made a super sticker which says vibes, and didn't add any comment to it. Thank you so much, Dr. Lingui Art. I appreciate it. Hindu Historian made another super chat, another super sticker with a vomiting face. I guess that's in reference to the very morally sublime Mohammed Hijab and his golden shower requests. Apple Goo made a super sticker and said thanks. Thank you so much, Apple Goo. I appreciate it. Ondra Klein made a super chat and said joining $5 tier Patreon. Keep up with the great work, guys. By the way, I want to have a Patreon Zoom event very soon where people who support me on Patreon, where we all can come together and have a chat. I will announce that further.
We should do a since we have some overlap in supporter base. We should do one this month where we get everyone together from both our channels and we hang out with everybody.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. If you want to join that, we will probably organize that very soon. Although we are not the best. David Wood is the best of planners. I'm not. Oracle of Twilight made a super chat and said, Mohammed Hijab doesn't deserve a debate at this point. He's a clown and deceptive, like a charlatan. I know, but he never deserves a debate. Mohammed Hijab was always a clown and always deceptive, and he was always a charlatan. But I just really think that a debate would be very great to expose how fragile his belief really is, and he knows that very well, which is why he did everything in his hands to run from that and then request golden showers live on my stream.
Oh yeah, and I mean along those lines, I mean guys, think about it, right? I mean you had two Christians, me and Sam Shamoun, we invited 1.6 billion Muslims. We said everyone, greatest to smallest, welcome to come on and defend your prophet. We did get some people on there, and there are more. But I mean, you think all of these apologists, all of these debaters, all of these scholars, you know that people are going to watch, that there's a lot of Christians watching, there's a lot of atheists watching, there's Hindus watching. Why would you not want to go on there and defend what should be for you one of the two most important topics you could address, whether the Quran's the word of God or whether Muhammad's a prophet? Why would you not want to? And they just do not want to go near any sort of debate about their prophet. It is hard to set up debates about Muhammad. They don't want to touch it, man. They don't want to touch it. And I kind of sympathize because I don't want to touch that either. That's a nasty dude, man.
Yeah. Good point. Oh my God. Moving on. Oracle of Twilight made a super chat and said, that's the same. Thank you, Oracle of Twilight. Islam Critique is here. Shout out to Islam Critique, who has a fantastic channel on debunking Islam, although it's not as good as as my channel, sorry. Just kidding. Islam Critique is here, made a super chat and said, if Mohammed Hijab can make Yasser Qadhi a laughing stock, imagine what he can do to you.
Yeah. If Mohammed Hijab will destroy his own scholar without even trying, imagine what he would do to you if he were trying. Yeah.
Fantastic. Brilliantly summarized. Islam Critique. Thank you so much.
Hijab could do that. He could walk around like that. He could, you Christians want to mess with me? I'll take out my own scholars because I'm crazy. I'll take out my own scholars. I'll destroy my own religion. I don't care because I'm crazy. You want to mess with me? I didn't think so.
The golden shower boy. Apple Goo made another super chat. Apple Goo made a super sticker unboxing. Thank you so much. Search for Truth said in a super chat, Hijab, when I spit, does that make me a god? Is that in reference to something? I don't get it.
Yeah. No, I remember this vaguely. So during the debate, I pointed out that Muhammad's follower. This goes back to Mohammed Hijab, basically completely misrepresenting the audience, but I mean misrepresenting the argument, but pretending for the audience that he's refuted it. So I pointed out that Muhammad's followers would take his saliva and even his blood, and they would take his saliva and they would rub it on themselves and stuff, and they would take his blood and they would drink it and stuff like that. And my point was, this is not how you treat a mere human being. If you're drinking Muhammad's urine and rubbing his saliva all over you, this is a kind of reverence that is simply idolatrous. So that was my point. And then Hijab said something like, what, because Muhammad's stupid? Because Muhammad spits, he's God? This makes him God? Oh, is that God? Right? So right where, and then, of course, the audience, great point, Hijab. Didn't understand anything, but you don't have to. This is your crap.
I'm leaving a comment. Mohammed Hijab is afraid of debating whether Islam is true, but if you need a golden shower, go to Mohammed Hijab. Okay, Search for Truth. Thank you so much for the input. Andrew Martin became a member of the channel. Thank you so much. Welcome, Andrew Martin. This is a giant mess of a live stream right now. I didn't expect it to go like this at all, but we will hopefully interact much more in other live streams together. Ron M made a super chat and said Sam Shamoun would wipe the floor with Mimi Hijab, and Mimi knows that and would never debate him.
that would be a massacre.
It would be.
Basically, Zakir Naik is good at one thing. When he was younger, he memorized tons of references, right? He memorized tons of references. So he's good at firing off references. Other than that, his arguments, the things he says are the stupidest things anyone could possibly say. Sam Shamoun has an even greater reference recall than Zakir Naik, but Sam Shamoun makes devastating arguments, and I believe Sam Shamoun would crush any of these guys or all of them at once, right? In other words, if you put Zakir Naik and Jabir Ali and Mohammed Hijab and 10 others on stage, I believe Sam would crush all of them at the same time. They can prove me wrong. They're welcome to prove me wrong. We go live and Sam Shamoun's sitting right there. And if someone calls in and it starts looking like a debate, if it's a discussion, me and Sam will both talk. If it starts looking like a debate, I kind of draw back and go into moderator mode. But no, I mean anyone who wants to refute Sam, it's keep in. Oh, by the way, so last week we did Muhammad Week, and that's still continuing because we have some Muslims that we still want to talk. But next week we're probably going to start the Quran confirms the Bible week, where Muslims can call in and show us that the Quran does not confirm the Bible, or that the Quran shows that the Bible's been corrupted. And then probably later in the month we'll have Trinity Week, where Muslims can call in and give us all their objections against the doctrine of the Trinity. So plenty coming up, plenty of opportunities to.
That's amazing that you're going through all that stuff. That's awesome. I've been thinking about doing such events for quite a while. I thought it would just be a kind of a random night where people call in and discuss stuff with me, like Muslims. But that's a whole different level. That's actually awesome. You might want to actually do that, and you could either do it by yourself, or you get a friend, and then you could have a couple, one Muslim or a couple Muslims call in and basically have a conversation. But you can kind of discuss the same points, and it's actually pretty cool. I'm just thinking in terms of views and stuff like that. In that, just the discussions we had a couple days ago, we had a discussion with a young guy who converted to Islam. It's got over 70,000 views, which, for a live stream, that's good. For a live stream that's only been up a couple days, so it's got in the next couple days it'll hit 100,000 and stuff. But that's a lot for it's a lot of people who are interested in watching a conversation who might not be interested in watching just a regular video or something like that. I wonder what Ali Dawa is doing right now. Ali Dawa is probably watching all of this happen, and he's like, Brother Muhammad, please stop. You're embarrassing all of us. You're embarrassing yourself.
Me refute them. Me say golden shower.
Golden shower. Destroy them. Golden shower.
Musaf. Black Musaf. You get me a black Musaf. I will give you a Quran.
Okay, moving on. Ben Kelly made a super chat and said, urgent message to David Wood. Research General Butt Naked, prophet of Nyanbawe. Then
Oh,
converted to...
I know General Butt Naked. It's so funny. Do you know that guy?
No, what is that?
He's I forget where it was. Does the comment say where he was?
Prophet of Nyambawe. What is his name? What?
Yeah, it's an African country, but this dude was into all sorts of like demonic pagan stuff. He would drink this stuff, and he said that it made him invisible in battle. But he would run out into battle at the head of his army, butt naked, just slaughtering people left and right. And he got the name General Butt Naked. Then he converted to Christianity, and now he's like an evangelist.
Really?
This is it's a wild dude. But anyone named I read about General Butt Naked in an article. It was like the 10 most epic redemption stories of all time, of people who are like just completely messed up in one direction and then just did a total 180 and came back. But I wasn't checking that out to make a video about it, but it would make a cool video. Who's not going to click on a video titled General Butt Naked? The story of General Butt Naked.
You should do that.
Right?
You should do that.
Click on that, right? What's cool is you might end up with people who they're looking for porn, right? Look up for porn, butt naked, and then they end up watching a video, and then it's got a cool message, about how people can turn around their lives.
And then they become Christians, and then they stop watching porn. Yeah.
That's right.
See, it works. Somebody said, AP, your live streams are so good that Mohammed Hijab is having sexual fantasies.
It is weird to bring this stuff up, right? I mean, if you wanted to call people idiots or something like that, then just say, "Oh, you're idiots" or something like that. But to immediately go the route of sexual perversion in every discussion is that shows there's a kind of underlying sickness there.
I really want this to be a good opportunity for everybody. Use this opportunity. You should remember Mohammed Hijab from now on as the golden shower man, or the golden shower boy, or Mohammed golden shower hijab, whatever you want to do. Just take these screenshots, make memes of him, make images of him, make pictures of him, hang them up, do whatever you want. But don't miss this opportunity. He has made a complete idiot of himself.
You could do something with your merch line.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh man, I'm laughing too much. 1 Colossians 1:17 made a super chat and said, First Colossians, is that how you say it? Said, David, remember him who said Allah has parts. Is that something that happened during the debate too?
What is that? I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Now, I can think of multiple things that would be in reference to. Allah has parts.
Someone asked, John Beaver said, are we sure this Mohammed Hijab is not a cloned account? No, we are sure. This is his. It has the check mark on it. You cannot copy and paste that. And if you go on his profile through the live chat, you actually land on his channel and see all his videos. So this is really, there is absolutely no doubt this is legitimately Mohammed Hijab. All right. Skull Super made a super chat and said, Hijab is Shamsi's boyfriend. Stefan Miljevic said, Mohammed Hijab, you're an animal. I was like you when I was 15 years old, but some people never grow up. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you. That's exactly what I was saying an hour ago. Carol Elisua made a super chat and said, Mohammed Hijab is basically giving away his sex life. You tell me where he gets those ideas from. I don't know what he's watching at home. Well, while he's talking about how life is all about pain and then you die, he's watching golden showers. That's what's happening in Mohammed Hijab's sad place. But thank you, Carol. AS made a super chat and said, Hijab and Yasir Qadi is watching every bit of y'all's live video to find something to mock you. Good luck and keep watching. I don't think Yasir Qadi is watching, to be honest. Yasir Qadi embarrassed himself enough on Mohammed Hijab's channel. I don't think he has the, he doesn't want to go out there anymore. But as you can all see,
he trolls my videos occasionally because he got me he got YouTube to remove one of my videos, and then it got restored. But yep, yeah. So he was checking out my channel.
Amazing. So Yasir Qadi is watching David Wood's videos, and Mohammed Hijab is watching our live chat and talking about golden showers and oral sex.
Here's what's interesting though. Yasir Qadi going back to his epic epic interview with Mohammed Hijab that is going to go down in history as one of the great moments in the history of the destruction of the ideology of Islam. What he was saying in there was, when he was talking about the red line, and he said, we're Muslims, so we see an issue and then we push a little bit and then we get an answer. Well, okay, that's good. That's good. He goes, the non-Muslim scholars, they don't have that red line that we have. Right? We go, oh, okay, any answer. Yeah, any answer is fine. Oh, okay. Oh, the ahruf are just dialects. Oh, the differences in the manuscripts are just different accents. Right? Okay, that's got, and then he'll push, right? But he says the non-Muslims will push. The non-Muslims will go, what are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that it's dialects, right? And he specifically said that, and they're right because they're quoting your sources to you. They're right. Right? Yeah, right. And he specifically compared it to the story of the emperor's new clothes. It's like the emperor's new clothes. They say you're not wearing any clothes, right? So notice, Islam is the naked king who doesn't realize that he's naked. And that's what Islam is, according to Yasser Qadhi. And it's the Western scholars are the ones who are pointing out, you guys are naked. You have nothing. You're butt naked. You're like general butt naked, right? So that's what it's like, but it's the same situation here. So here's what's interesting. Yasser Qadhi is, at least to an extent, teachable. If he's acknowledging that, hey, we can believe certain things as Muslims, but then these Western academics will come in and point out that doesn't actually work. It doesn't work according to your own sources. Stop saying that. He's acknowledging that. He's pointing that out to even to Muslims. So there's hope for Yasser Qadhi. Hopefully
he kind of explained that the Oriental Islamic scholars can just move on with these things and make their excuses, but with the Western scholars are confronted with non-Muslim opponents all the time and have to deal with these hard, tough questions, which is why they cannot just brush these things off. That was kind of the message about it, right?
Yeah, and so guys, I'll give you a simple example. So this isn't even at the scholarly level. This is just at the intro level, right? Almost every Muslim, when he hears about the ahruf, he hears, that's just the 7 dialects. That's just the 7 different Arabic dialects. And the Quran was revealed in these 7 different dialects to make the Quran easier for the people who spoke these different dialects. Well, two basic problems, like fundamental. Like the scholars will go into far more detail. I'm just going to give you 2 quick, easy ones just to show you how the main theory that Muslims are given doesn't even survive like 2 minutes of investigation. Right? So problem number 1, the guy that this story is about, that this hadith is about, converted around the time of the conquest of Mecca. So that's 630, right? The story, the hadith, is about this dude. He's reciting the Quran in the mosque, but he's reciting it in a different way from what Umar was familiar with. So Umar hears this guy reciting the Quran, and he hears him reciting it in a different way. So he drags the guy to Muhammad like a dog, like, I'm about to put this guy to death, right? Brings him to Muhammad. And Muhammad says, hey, how do you recite it? And the guy recites it. And then he goes, Umar, how do you recite it? Umar recites it. And he goes, Allah revealed it in both ways. Yeah, Allah revealed it in 7 different ways, 7 ahruf, right? And Muslims today say, oh, yeah, that's 7 dialects. But think about this. So the first, the obvious problem here. So this guy that this story is about converted in 630 AD. When is he doing this Quran recitation? Let's say a year later, right? 631. Notice you only have 2 years to work with. Yeah. You have from 630 to 632. So then Muhammad says, no, say, don't worry about it, Umar. The Quran was revealed in 7 different ways. Now think about this, ladies and gentlemen. You're talking 631, if not 632, but it's shortly before Muhammad's death. And all of a sudden, he announces that he's been revealing the Quran in 7 different versions for different people, and no one's ever heard about this before. No one has a clue.
That hasn't been discussed ever.
The Quran is coming to an end, and Umar's ready to kill this dude because he's reciting the Quran differently, and Muhammad never thought to mention, oh, by the way, I'm revealing the Quran in all these different ways. Here's the point. That story, your interpretation of that story sounds absolutely ridiculous unless you have some red line where you say, can you tell me what the ahruf are? I've heard that there were these different, it's just dialects, no problem there. Unless you're like that, right? As soon as you start pushing on that at all, that falls apart. That's problem number one. Problem number two, this guy's from the same tribe as Muhammad and Umar.
Yeah.
He spoke the same dialect as Muhammad and Umar. The guy is actually, Hisham is actually Khadija's grandnephew. They're from the same tribe. So your theory that it just refers to different dialects. Our knowledge of the story about the 7 ahruf is from this story, and whatever the ahruf are, this dude was taught a different this dude was taught a different harf from the one that Umar was taught. If you say it's dialects, it makes absolutely no sense because they spoke the same dialect. Why would Muhammad be teaching someone from his tribe a Yemeni dialect or something? It doesn't make any sense. It's completely irrational to claim that this is what it means, and yet every Muslim who's told about what the ahruf are, if he finds out, I mean, if you don't know what it's about, they'll keep you in a state of ignorance. If you find out about it, then they want to explain it. Oh, you're worried about these 7 different ways. Oh yeah, it's just 7 different dialects. Anyway, here's the point again. To any non-Muslim who doesn't have that red line where just ask and then do not question your answer, this story sounds your interpretation, your understanding. Ahruf are just different dialects. Sounds completely ridiculous. And Yasser Qadhi's been dealing with that for years, but not just on those kind of big issues, on these little details. And he's going to the conferences. They're exposing these Muslim theories and these Muslim explanations, and he realizes we got nothing here. We can't account for this. Now, notice the correct understanding of all this is to just drop this issue of perfect preservation and understand that you're dealing with a great big mess and you can't make sense of it. That's what you do. But if you're Yasser Qadhi and you don't want to do that, you don't want to just say, guys, we can't make sense of this. We're stuck. We got a problem here. You don't want to do that. You just keep nope. There's got to be an answer out there somewhere. No one's figured it out for 14 centuries. No one's been able to come up with the answer, but I'm Yasser Qadhi. If I keep pushing hard enough, I'll figure it out.
Yep. I listened to you. I was just busy going through the whole stuff. But yeah, that's the crux of the story. I still need to really make a thing on that. I need to talk about that. I need to make a video about that stuff. I haven't really kept up with the whole mess that is going on. I was looking at the whole controversy, and I thought Yasser Qadhi is doing a good job enough to to destroy Islam single-handedly. He doesn't need to weigh in.
We're obsolete, dude. With Mohammed Hijab and Yasser Qadhi single-handedly annihilating the religion. What are we going to do, man?
I know. Who are we? I mean, I'm really coming out here. You are coming out here. We are the enemies of Islam. We are really wanting to do harm to Islam. We want to demolish it, destroy it. We want Islam to lose credibility. This is all in the best interest of everything that we are doing and of humanity. But it's not us who are achieving this. It is the Islamic scholar and the Islamic apologist themselves coming together.
This goes right back to Hijab, man. Again, he could come right to us right now and said, you guys think you're good? I destroy Islam better without even trying than all you guys put together. Look at how much damage I've done to the Quran. You guys haven't taken out a scholar. I take out my own scholars. You guys realize who you're dealing with?
Yeah. Huh? Okay, let me go through the super chats. I think we're way over we've talked quite a while. I will quickly go through the super chats just because I don't want them to because I don't want them to go away. I will quickly read them through. I will hopefully reply in more detail some other time, or we can reply to something that we really think is very important. But thanks for all the super chats, everybody. Let's see. Hijab and Yasser Qadhi watch every Sophia Film said, Mohammed Hijab can't control himself. Keep going, boy. Save and tweet his comments to every Muslim apologist. You're done, Hijab. Awesome. AS said in a super chat, guys, make sure to abrogate this video before the Islam warriors download it. 12BKL My Shoe made a super chat and said, can we get a greatest hits of Hijab from this video's chat feed? I think it would be an amazing. That's actually a great video idea. I will make a video.
If you combine the comments from this chat with some of his recent comments to you, and you get that and you make it like a 3-minute, very quickly, easily shareable video, where people can be posting it on Twitter and stuff like that, that would be fantastic. That would do well.
I will make a short. Make a short video. Best moments of or best comments of Mohammed Hijab. and I will just post that so that it make it look like it's pro Mohammed Hijab, so that all the Mohammed Hijab minions also come in and have a look at it, and then we can all share that on the internet. It'll be great.
Mohammed Hijab destroys Apostate Prophet and David Wood at the same time.
Golden shower boy. Dragonfist 900 made a super chat and said, "Hey David, I have a Muslim friend who I really want to see come to Christ. Should I recommend seeking Allah, finding Jesus to him?" What's your quick answer, David?
Of course.
Of course. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, Dragonfist 900. Thank you, David. Joe Mama made a super chat and said, to Mohammed Hijab, can you call CP and not mute him for the sake of Allah? He's converting Muslims left and right. If not, send your best man. BMW 635 CSI made a super chat and said, Islam started as something strange and would again revert of being strange just as it started. That's a hadith by Muhammad. And would recede between the two mosques just as the serpent crawls back in its hole. Sahih Muslim 146. Yeah, that's an actual hadith by Muhammad. One that I learned very intensively as I was growing up, because we learned that my group and people like us were some of the strangers of the end. It's very strange what Islam really teaches here. Satu Jamsaja made a super sticker. Thank you so much. Bank Raqqa made a super chat and said, Mohammed, why abrogate the Yasir Qadi video? Please make a compilation of all Mohammed Hijab's, of all Mohammed's comments. David and AP, keep up the awesome work. What's that? That's a hijab emoji. Hijab is a boy. Sorry, my voice is cracking. Sophia Films made a super chat and said, I thought Islam was about best of speech and manners. Obviously, it's not. Stefan Milejevich made a super chat and said, Apostate Prophet, please do not forget Emir Stein Center. You must do a parody video on them. I'm begging you. That is the worst evil that exists.
Hey, you're getting requests for that too. Well, me and Sam have been getting requests for that as well.
I will do that. It's really. Ooh. I think it's one of the most disgusting forms of spreading Islam. They are like presenting it as something very, very sweet, while, you know what I mean. We'll go into that.
Maybe because I'm kind of in a situation where I don't know how much time I want to dedicate to that, but and it's something that you can get on top of, because they don't have a ton of videos, right? I forget what they have. They have like 10 or 12.
Yeah,
they have like 10 or 12 videos. It's not a ton. Maybe like me, you, maybe Sam Shimon should just go live once per week, and we'll just go through one video at a time and post it as a response to that. But we can go through sources and stuff like that, show how dumb it is, and then put it out there and then everyone has the response to the video. I wanted to make a video recently in response, because there is this guy, Craig Considine, who is also there on Emir Stein Center. He's really a different story, that guy. But he has a video on there which is titled something like Prophet Muhammad was the first anti-racist. No, he's a moron. We did a show. This is back when we did our show called Jesus or Muhammad. So this is like got to be like 2011, 2012, something like that. But it's me, I think Pastor Joseph, and Robert Spencer, and I was dressed up like George Washington, because the article we were discussing was by Craig Considine, saying that Muhammad is basically the Arab George Washington, and he's drawing all these parallels between Muhammad and George Washington. But that's what this dude does, right? He comes up with these absurd parallels meant for Westerners, and then it's just you get popular like that, ladies and gentlemen.
That's ridiculous. I mean,
that's what he's doing. Now you could say, hey, I have a background in, I think he's a sociology or something like that, but I have a background. Let's say you have a background in history and you want to get quickly famous, or you have a background in science, you want to get quickly famous. All you have to do to be set for life right now is say, you know what? I have a background in history, and after examining history, I've concluded that Islam is the best historical religion in history, and Muhammad is the clearest, greatest man who ever lived. And you're set. You're set for life.
It is ridiculous. He makes these daily posts, these daily tweets, and whenever I see them, it looks like some Muslim imam in Pakistan is writing those tweets for him and posting him in his name. That's what it looks like. He's pretending to be this good Christian guy who really sympathizes with Muhammad and loves Islam. And I don't know. He attends events that are organized by by Middle Eastern governments, and it just looks so very clearly to me like this guy is being hired and paid by Middle Eastern governments in order to sweet talk and propagate Islam, and he's clearly not doing a great job because his audience is just Muslims who would basically hear the same thing normally from Muslim imams. Mm-hmm. Hindu Historian made a super chat and said, oh, he didn't make a super chat, he made a super sticker which said game over. Thank you, Hindu Historian. AS made a super chat and said, Mimi is here to get subscribers, bro. At least do something to save your holy Hurrian. Sophia Films made a super chat and said, weak chin hijab got smashed by a pensioner. LOL. I bet that was a fight. There's some video about Mohammed Hijab being in a physical fight or something. Sophia Films also said, Muslims, hijab is your intellectual powerhouse. LOL. Hindu Historian made a super chat and said, the Supreme favors the just, and the Supreme favors our side. Is this like a divine holy reference? Because
yeah.
Okay.
It's probably a Hindu belief.
Okay. I see that. I appreciate that, Hindu Historian. Thank you so much. I believe it's the universe. I don't take it seriously. Bella Zamamasita made a super sticker and said, wow. Sophia Films made a super chat and said, don't fall for it. Hijab prefers Arab supremacy. Nadaverse said, okay, so I will definitely be making a golden ape graphic soon. Thanks for the tagline for the graphic, David.
I said grape ape.
Yeah, grape ape. Yeah, that's what he said.
You don't have to make a graphic for that. You just look up grape ape and beagly, and you'll see why back in the day we would refer to any giant person as a grape ape. But yeah, we would have definitely referred to Muhammad Hijab as grape ape back in the day.
Sophia Film said everyone with hijab screenshots post on Nada's. Yeah, on Nada's channel. I don't know, something's going on there. But thanks, guys. Sydney B made a super chat and said, y'all have better integrity and honor than these Muslims. We love you guys. Thank you so much, Sydney. I appreciate that very much. Dragonfist900 said, watching them destroy the foundations of Islam. You want me to bring popcorn and a beanbag chair? Sophia Films made thousands of super chats. I don't know what's going on here. Islam couldn't teach hijab manners nor self-control. Thank you so much. And Shamoon will make hijab his female dog. It's not something that I said. Arash Dibazar Jr. said, Mohammed Hijab exposed Yasir Qadhi. Respect. Hawaiian CC said, is Mohammed Hijab a top or a power bottom? Please clarify at the debate. Sid Dave said, Khadija gave golden showers to Muhammad. Mohammed Hijab, do you see what you have caused?
Yeah, there would have been none of this. This wouldn't have been a discussion. Now we have to sit here and listen to this, not just from Hijab, but from everyone else, because Hijab started it, and he got everyone set on this path.
Do you see what the supreme Muslim apologist, the great honorable Mohammed Hijab, who is this strong, fantastic guy, has caused? People are talking about golden showers in the super chats and in the comment section. They're talking about oral sex, anal sex. They're talking about all these things. We were just going to talk about Muhammad's child bride today.
AP. Along these lines, I talked about things I realized back in 2004, 2005. Another thing I realized back then, and I mentioned that Christians would approach a Muslim organization and say, who would you like us to debate? And then they would pick their guy. And I realized back then, wait a minute. I don't think Christians are thinking seriously enough about these issues. Mm-hmm. They don't decide who the representative is. We get to decide who the representative is, right? Mm-hmm. Because we can also give a platform to someone that we think represents Islam well, right? We can. So in other words, we don't have to say, hey, you organization, you go out and decide who you want to represent Islam. We can say, no, we're asking this guy if he wants to come out and defend his prophet, right? And notice, I'm not saying pick the worst representative. That would be messed up. I'm saying pick the best representative, right? Pick the best representative. And the best representative of Islam is not someone who is completely out of touch with what Islam is really like. But along these lines, we actually have a massive role in deciding who Islam's champion apologists really are. Mm-hmm. So I think, I definitely want it to be Mohammed Hijab. So we might want to start going around referring to him as Islam's greatest apologist and so on, and just keep rolling with that. And guys, well, like whenever we mention him, as Islam's greatest apologist, the one who really gets people thinking about what we won't say, but the one who really gets us thinking is Mohammed Hijab. And help this guy until everyone knows him as the champion of Islam.
Yeah, Mohammed Golden Shower Hijab. Help him, push him, help him go up there.
That sounds like a T-shirt.
David, just very quickly, I know we don't have very much time to talk about this, but people keep asking about our debate. What do we want to do? You want to talk about this stuff after? We can talk about this stuff.
Yeah,
after
we can mention it quickly, guys. That one's the delays are on me. Couple things. One, I always underestimate how much time whatever I'm working on will actually take. So it's always I'm doing multiple other projects. I'm trying to get other, working on other platforms and websites and projects like that to sort of backups, because I don't, every day when I log onto YouTube, I think, is this the day they ban me? To the extent at which they mess with me. So I'm working on those things. I'm working on a 50-part series of videos that are being translated by people all over the world. We're getting a website that's up and running now, but we're getting stuff on there. So anyway, I got all these other projects on, and it's always in my mind. Do I jump on? Do I hey, tomorrow am I going to record my opening statement for that debate with AP? And it's always like, no, I've got like 8 other things to do. So my plan, because I said a couple weeks ago, I said, hey, why don't we start August 1st? And my theory was, okay, I'm working on this 50-part series. Let me go ahead and get like 6 or 7 of those recorded ahead of time, and then I've got those, and those are all ready. Anyway, I've gotten one of those done. So it's always in my head, hey, I'll just knock out this big chunk, and then I'll have this space to do my debate with AP, and then doesn't work out. Nevertheless, and the other thing is, I tend to focus on whoever's running their mouth the most, right? Like whoever's in the chat, I'm going to rape your mom, blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, well, I'm going to go after your prophet, right? I'm going to blast your prophet. Unfortunately, that's constantly one particular religious group who's begging me to make videos about them, whereas AP... I
should come to your comment section and say,
yeah, you come.
Golden shower. Yeah,
you should start talking trash. And I'll be like, oh, I gotta jump on this. But we do want to start it because I actually think it's good. I think it's good if we can have a friendly debate. It's a topic that we're both interested in, and I actually think it's good for our channels and for the preservation of our channels. I think we need to have some diverse content on there, because if YouTube's banning channels and they're going after channels that criticize Islam, well, it actually helps if they're on the borderline of whether to mess with us or not, and then they come to the channel, yeah, they got some videos about Islam, but they also have some videos on, dealing with the moral argument and all these other topics, so we'll let them slide. So I think it's good. I did want to talk to you right afterwards, because I thought of a much easier project that we could do first. I am definitely in favor of starting the debate this month.
Okay.
This month. But I have one quick little side project. We'll need 1 or 2 more people involved in, but it's cool. And if you like the idea, you don't have to be involved, but I think you like the idea because it's dope. And we could do that, and then, yeah, definitely before the end of the month. But I do, okay. I basically need to get a few episodes of this 50-part series, because I'm only releasing 1 a week. But there's other work. There's like that, and the transcript, and contacting people, and making sure everyone's translating it, and getting those back and stuff like this. So it's actually a bunch of work. But if I got the videos recorded, then that frees up some time that I don't need for that. So, yeah, if I can get a couple of those done.
We'll do that. We'll arrange that. We will announce that further. So just for clarification, David Wood and I were going to have a debate about morality, where David Wood is going to argue that morality comes from the divine, where I argue that it doesn't, or I argue for a different position. So it was going to be a big debate about morality, since David Wood is a Christian and I'm very much an atheist. So that's going to happen soon. We will figure that out. We'll have a conversation together, a private chat after this talk, and then see when we can arrange everything, how we can arrange everything, when we will be able to post the whole stuff. And once we have made an agreement to that, we will announce that in public. unless one of us suddenly chickens out and says, "Hey, I never agreed to this debate."
No, AP. We never said it had to be online on our YouTube channels. You have to face me in person. Are you a coward?
Coward.
Golden showers.
Okay.
Wow.
Hawaiian CC made a super chat and said, okay, I read that. It was about golden showers again. Magdalene G said, Mimi is definitely projecting his fantasies and what he does with Lily Dawa. Just admit you're gay. I'm sure your fans we will still cheer. Gamal Yahya said, debate on Christian morals, apostate, hypocrites. We are going to do that. I don't know what you're talking about. Sophia Films has made a super chat and said, we're going to make Mohammed Hijab infamous. Thanks, boy. Sarah Hagee made a super chat. Thank you so much, Sarah. And said, still loving the hijab golden shower poster idea, AP. LOL. I'm really thinking about it. I want to put it right back here where people can see it, or here, whatever it is, where people can see it. And it's supposed to say the hijab and the Muhammad golden shower hijab, or the golden boy of Islam, or something like that.
What's disgusting is if you try to look up a graphic for a poster, you're probably going to get some nasty stuff if you start like Googling stuff like that.
I know. Yeah, and that's on Mohammed Hijab. I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, I have to say, my goodness, if Hijab's a Speaker's Corner guy. If he starts showing up at Speaker's Corner and everyone starts calling him golden showers because of this, oh my goodness, it's going to be embarrassing.
Please, everybody who can participate, who can spread this, please do that. First Colossians 1:17 made a super chat and said, it is in the debate Mohammed Hijab said, who said Allah has parts, and laughed. And Elijah means God is with us. That's what he said. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, the point of that. Okay, so no, again, I can think of multiple things when you're talking about Allah's part, because I did an entire series of videos with Anthony talking about Allah's different body parts and so on. But I talked about Allah having a literal body and parts, and hijabs and I said that Muslim scholars agree that this has to be literal, because here's what's interesting. I had heard that he's a Salafi somewhere, or I just assumed it. I don't remember what, or it was just the crowd that he was running around with. So I assumed he's a Salafi. Salafis believe that Allah has a literal body, a literal body with literal body parts, right? So I pointed this out that Allah has a literal body according to scholars, and then he gets up, what scholars? What scholars? And so the crowd laughed, and so I thought, I don't actually know anything about this guy, so maybe he's not a Salafi. In which case, I don't know what sect he is. In which case,
it's very unclear what he is actually.
Yeah, no, I've heard since then that he's definitely a Salafi, and so it was just more deception. It's just he's just leading the crowd astray. That's what I've heard. I've never. Again, the number of Mohammed Hijab videos I've watched, I can probably count on 3 or 4 fingers. But someone told me, what are you talking about? This guy's a Salafi. And anyway, if he is a Salafi, if you guys know, if he's a Salafi, then yeah, that was deception, because Allah has a body according to Islam. I mean, well, I would say according to Islam, it's the Salafis who take these passages seriously.
Yeah. According to my people, I was a mainstream Muslim. I was a Sufi at some point, and it really differs. Like, according to one position, Allah doesn't have body parts, and he doesn't have a body that you can perceive. He's outside of his creation. He's everywhere. According to the big Sufi perspective, it was even deeper. It was basically very much like Eastern religions, like Indian religions, where it is seen as Allah is immaterial. He's not only outside of everything, he is everything. So Allah is in everything. It is like in a sense pantheism, which is very weird. It doesn't really combine very well with Christianity and with Islam. That's also one perspective where Salafis, for example, consider Sufis heretics and blasphemers, because they teach and ancient belief that Allah is everywhere, within everything, and everything is Allah, or garbage like that. It's really very strange. If you ask Muslims where Allah is, they will all have very different opinions, and they will even kill each other over that. So it's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Hey, check this out. So Sam Shamoon is live right now. I can't listen to what he's saying, so I hope he's not making some really awesome point right now, because I'm posting, why are people watching this? You dummies just missed my epic live stream with the Apostate Prophet. Let's see.
Oh my God. Okay. I want to finish these super chats. Give me a second. David Textel made a super chat and said, remind us of how Yasir Qadhi and Hijab deleted their videos on the holes in the Quran, trying to hide something we've all already seen. I know it's ridiculous. It's called the how do you say it? Streisand effect. The Streisand effect.
Streisand effect.
Yeah, where you try to hide something and it becomes even more obvious because you are so clearly trying to hide it. So they're just damaging Islam even more. It's incredible.
And just so you know, that's something to think about for video topics and titles and thumbnails. When people find out that you're trying to hide something from them, it makes them more interested in it, and that's what happened with Yasir Qadhi and Mohammed Hijab. But in terms of video topics and stuff like that, it's got to be the two things that Muslim apologists are trying to hide from you and stuff like that. People click on that stuff.
Yeah. It should really be pointed out much more. I should maybe focus on that stuff too. I didn't really focus on the whole mess that was going on. By the way, quick comment. Maxi Joseph said, Apostate Prophet, can you please debate with Mufti Abu Layth? I find Mufti Abu Layth a very interesting and funny fellow.
I think it's hilarious.
He's hilarious. He's awesome. I would love to have a conversation with him sometime. You naughty. I would love to have a conversation with him sometime, or maybe even a debate. I don't know if he actually wants to have a debate with me. I think he would rather be interested in having debate with Muslims themselves, because they all hate him. But
I'd like just because he seems like there are people that are obviously not easy to get along with, right? He seems like someone who'd be easy to get along with, right? He seemed like a guy who'd be cool to have on the live stream and just have a discussion, right? Say, hey, tell us your background and tell us why you believe in this, and have a discussion about it. So he seems like he'd be cool for that.
Yeah. You naughty. Animal said in a super chat, Mohammed Hijab, Islam's golden boy. Unknown Mind Your Own said in the super chat, we should make a great big deal of the 100-year anniversary of the standardized Quran.
2024.
Arash Debazar Jr. said, if Islam pays me $10,000 a week, I will be their only good apologist. I think that was a reference to Craig Considine, who's doing Islamic apologetics as a Christian person, which is totally genuine, I believe. Nadaverse made a super chat. Thank you, Nadaverse, for being here, by the way, and moderating the chat. Golden Ape will be a mashup of Grape Ape and Hijab's golden shower obsession.
I get it.
K11S19 said in a super chat, before Muhammad went to Medina, Islam was brought to India by traders who wanted to save Islam from persecution and given refuge by southern Indian kings. But Muslims like Persians and Turks destroying North Indian temples 200 years later. Detail I don't know about. Okay, that's all the super chats. But thank you so much, K11S19. I bet my voice sounds disgusting right now. I bet it's very
sounds
hard.
Fine.
It's very hard to listen because I can barely speak. Okay, I think we should be through with this conversation. It's been much longer than I thought it would. It's been so different from what I thought it would be about, but it was worth it.
It's funny because I expected, based on the topic, I expected a disgusting conversation. It still ended up being a disgusting conversation, but it was just a different kind.
It was about the wrong Muhammad. We were expecting a disgusting conversation tonight with all the sources about the holy Prophet Muhammad, the honorable, morally sublime, holy Prophet Muhammad from the 7th century, and we ended up having a very long, disgusting conversation about the honorable Muslim apologist Mohammed Hijab, who has really made a big show of himself. I want to applaud him here. I want to thank him here in the name of everybody who has who has enjoyed this conversation, this chat, who has enjoyed the laughter, who has laughed at home. I want to thank in the name of everybody, in the name of David Wood himself and myself, to Mohammed Hijab, who has made this great service, who has provided great content for us tonight. Thank you, Mohammed Hijab. We love you very much.
You're our hero, dude.
You're a hero. Thank you so much. And hey, if you want to talk about the whole debate stuff, you can maybe still contact me. Despite your behavior tonight, I might still, I don't know, converse with you. I'll see. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Thank you so much. We will hopefully be back soon again and have a live chat at a different time, talk about the other disgusting Muhammad. David, is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, stay away from Islam.
Oh, that comes from. Oh, okay. Stay away from Islam and stay away from golden showers. Don't Google golden showers tonight. Stay away from Islam.